In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Hey, everybody. Remember yesterday when I said that I would be here at about 7? Remember when I said that? Let me move over. There we go. Remember when that was what I said? That was what I meant. I meant we will be starting at around 7 today. Now, the other thing I said was that Johnny would be here today. Johnny's not going to be here today. Johnny texted me just a little bit before the show. Johnny let me know that he was not feeling well and that he's not going to make it today. That is the second person I've heard from that was at the anniversary show and said that they're not feeling well. There's another guy who ain't feeling well. It's I might have hosted my second super spreader event. Son of a bitch. Well, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. We're gonna get back into the swing of things here with this one. This is gonna be. I actually prepped a show. I actually got something ready for you. We'll be going back. Okay, now we're good. It's when we've been using Rumble Studio with the OBS and all that, they're not doing well together. They've been crashing out a lot when we use OBS with Rumble Studio. When I've been using OBS with Restream, it's been very, very easy. OBS with Rumble Studio, for some reason, I'll update it later today, but also we are having Spectrum issues as well. We had some bad storms last night. A couple people have already written me and said, they said, yeah, it's our internet's not good here. So we'll figure it out. Like I said, we're just getting back into the swing of things for the week. It's been incredibly busy. Welcome, guys. I apologize. We're here. We're here. We're queer. Get used to it. Welcome to the show. Hit like it. Subscribe. Beg, beg, beg. Shake, shake, shake. Welcome to the show. I'm trying to get everything back up and going here. We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about for today's show. That god-awful shooting in New York. It was terrible. Another god-awful thing I've been seeing is that there are people out there who are claiming that the Happy Gilmore sequel was good. This is a problem. I don't think I can allow that. I don't think people should be enjoying the Happy Gilmore movie. I mean, dude, like we said yesterday about Happy Gilmore 2, it really is just, it's just the kind of movies that Adam Sandler makes now. He doesn't make anything different than just slop together shit. It's just not, there's no other way to put it other than it's not good. They're just bad movies. Welcome, guys. People are saying what happened to the comb over and everything else. Look, I went to bed last night because I had to get up early to take Gino and Keanu to the airport. And so as I took Keanu and Gino to the airport, I had very little time, very, very tired. And so I just got back here. We're going to do a show for a few hours. And that's about, I didn't have time to do my hair or anything like that. It's just, we're easing into it for the week. The original plan was that I was not going to do a show Monday and Tuesday morning, and we were just going to come back on the Tuesday evening show. But I figured, you know what? Give these guys a show. Put one on. We've got some things to talk about. Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Candace Owens doubling down on the First Lady of France lawsuit deal. That's interesting. All right. Lots of stuff to talk about. Let's get into it. I'm sorry for the very disjointed beginning to this show. Now I'm very nervous. I'm just making sure OBS is okay. I'm kind of doing three things at once while trying to get a show. This is a very unorthodox start. And then like 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, Johnny sent me a text, let me know he wasn't feeling well, so he wasn't going to be here this morning. So we're kind of putting it all back together on the fly. Bigot on Socialist Media says, have you recovered from your hangover yet? I don't know. I think so. I think I have. And to be honest, it was 3 days in a row and like I said, those guys can go. Those guys can go. Gino celebrated, Keanu celebrated, I celebrated. We went golfing with Matt and Amy. That was a great time on Sunday. Look, man, we had fun. My neighbors came over yesterday. We sat on the deck. You know, it's funny, like the culture clash thing, because let me make sure I'm sorry. There we go. We're good. It's such a culture clash thing because, like, they come from New York, and you forget that where they live in New York, they don't have like backyards with decks, and you can sit at a table and have a couple of drinks and have your neighbors over and do that whole thing. So, like, I'm sitting here planning all these things we can do, and I'm like, oh, we could go to this place or we could go this place. And they honestly, those two were just like, no, we just want to sit out here outside on the deck and do that. We never get to do this. So that's what we did yesterday. I had these dive bars I wanted to take them to and maybe go to a restaurant or something. And they go, no, we just want to sit out here on the deck and do that. So easy enough. It was quite a bit of fun. So got up this morning at about 2:45, took a shower, got him to the airport, came back here, and off we go for a great show. Dead Game says, it's a concrete jungle, Aaron. You know, I've heard that. I've heard them say that. Flagrant says, I go 7 days in a row, 50 weeks a year. Don't be a pussy. I just don't like drinking all the time. I'm sorry. I just don't like drinking all the time. When I drink, I enjoy myself. But I just like going 3 days in a row. If this is as bad as I feel, if yesterday and right now are as bad as I feel like I feel like I got away with something. I really do. No, Eric Cartman, that did not happen. Stop it. You're being an internet person. Just knock it off. It's nothing. It's zero. I mean, there was someone, let's just say, who put themselves in a lot of trouble, but it wasn't anyone on the steel toe end. So Eric Cartman, stop with the spurging. It's just, we're not doing that. That's not what this show is. We're not doing internet people stuff. All right. Let's have some fun. Calm down. You're wrong. You're listening to retards is what you're doing. So anyway, we have, McBuster fucking nailed it. I mean, guys, learn how to read. Learn how to fucking read. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't want to like ignore you or anything, but I will if you're just going to be spurging. So we had a great time this weekend. It was unbelievable. So much fun. And they're just, I mean this as a compliment. They're so easy to entertain, the two of them. They're just so nice to hang out with. And then getting to the airport today, I wouldn't even say it was a somber mood. I wouldn't even say it was a down mood. It was just like, hey, thanks for coming out. We had a lot of fun. Enjoy your flight. Blah, 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 blah. Great time. I can't speak highly enough of the weekend we had. And now it's back to work. And now it's back to doing a fun show. And now it's back to good vibes. You guys put on a fucking happy face. We had an incredible weekend. It was unbelievable. We had a crazy successful anniversary show. The golf event went great, except for the handful of people who got a little too drunk the night before and let us know they couldn't make it to the golf event. They couldn't get up that early in the morning, which is understandable. And maybe I should have thought about that. But hey, for the first one, it went great. And again, I will say this. If it made you upset or you're obsessing about our weekend that you have a mental illness. Seek help. I'm not your father. I'm sorry. I know you're angry at me for whatever reason. We had an amazing time, and I'm sorry for whatever perceived slight the world has done to you that you put on my shoulders. I don't know what you're not worth addressing. You're just, it's in one ear, out the other, and you really do have a sickness and probably need to be medicated or adjust the dosage. One of the two. So a bunch of stuff to talk about, plenty of stuff going on. Here's what I want to do. I want to ease back into the goals too. You guys made a little chunk of change for us yesterday. So $200. $200 is today's goal. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships, all of that stuff. Thank you so much. And let's have a wonderful, wonderful show. Sorry for the choppy start. I think everything is good now. I'm seriously just looking around, nervous about, like, is the internet going to go down? Is OBS going to go down? It's odd. It's just, it's a strange vibe. And I'm starting at 7 instead of 6. I'm all out of sorts. I got up and went to the airport this morning. Unbelievable. And I don't feel nearly as shitty as I thought I would today. Nader P says, I thought you said no show today. Yeah, there wasn't supposed to be a show yesterday either. And I got a few Rumble studio hours that I want to crank up a bit. So we're going to do that unless OBS keeps having problems as far as Rumble Studio is concerned. And then I also thought, what am I going to do? Just lay around and sleep all morning? Do a little show. Make a couple of bucks, hit a $200 goal, see if the audience wants to see you, and let's have a little fun. Okay, let's jump into some things. The Happy Gilmore 2 thing, I watched it. It was bad. It was bad. I don't need to watch it again. It's not like there weren't good parts. Like, I thought Shooter McGavin was great, and I thought John Daly was awesome, and MJF did a good job. Other than that, it was just... And it makes me wonder, like, has Adam Sandler always been this bad? Or did Adam Sandler just get formulaic and he got a bunch of money and he went, I'm not going to make movies that everyone will like. I'm going to make a bunch of movies that I like. That I'm just going to make stuff that I would want to watch. And maybe Adam Sandler just has really corny, shitty taste. I don't know. But Happy Gilmore 2 was member berries mixed with stupid shit. Like, I thought the new golf league angle was really dumb. Actually, when they did his comeback, when they were doing the thing where he was, at the tour championship and he was competing against all these other guys, and I'm like, if this is the whole movie, I think this is great. Like a slow comeback thing, that would be awesome. Then they had this dumb thing with a new golf league and a surgical procedure that cuts a tendon, and these guys are all, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was good, but now I don't know. Again, if this has always been Adam Sandler, or if this is just, or if there was a change somewhere, Miss Tay says, thanks for having a Rumble Friday without me, you bastard. Well, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Bigot on Socialist Media says, I have no reason to even download it for free. It wasn't even mid. It was, I struggled through the whole thing. I watched the whole thing just to see if maybe there would be a chance that maybe the ending will save it. But when John Daly or Shooter McGavin wasn't on screen, it really wasn't worth it. And like Adam Sandler plays, he just plays himself now. So like he wasn't actually the Happy Gilmore character. And then all the cameos and all that stuff. I guess Eminem did a good job, I guess, but it was all very thrown together, I suppose. Bigot on Socialist Media says, I rewatched some of his older stuff and I don't find it as funny when I was a kid. I think that's kind of common. Dead Game says, I'm sorry, not Dead Game. Mr. Beat says, what about your boy Eminem? Oh, yeah, he's a fucking gay F word. I thought he did fine. I thought his part was good. JMB says Sandler only had like 3 good movies. Oh, I don't know, man. I like Billy Madison. I like The Wedding Singer. I like The Water Boy. I like Big Daddy. I like Spanglish. 50 First Dates. He's got some good ones. It's just that in the last 15, 20 years, he's had a lot of bombs. A lot of bombs. Or as Landers says, yes, Sandler has always been an unfunny Jew. Sorry. Or that. Bigot on Socialist Media says, same as Austin Powers. I don't think it's funny anymore. Austin Powers doesn't really hold up, but I think it's just because that it's kind of like Borat. Borat got so done to death by all of us that it kind of ruined Borat in a way. Austin Powers, like everybody was going, yeah, baby, I shagged a rotten baby. And it's like, okay, yeah, no, we get it. We got it. We understand. So it kind of, it's like a great song that just gets played way too much. Grandma's Boy was good. I don't really consider Grandma's Boy an Adam Sandler movie. That was like, when Eminem let D12 make an album? That's what Sandler did for his guys. with Grandma's Boy. Not that I didn't like it, I did, but it was clearly I made a shitload of money for the studio. Let my pals make a film, and that's what they did. Bill Schultz texted Gino yesterday. Gino was reading this to us in the car on the way to the airport, and Gino said, "Oh, Bill Schultz just texted me and said he watched the new Happy Gilmore movie and he loved it." And I'm driving, and I said to Gino, I go, just tell me he's kidding. Like, tell me he's being sarcastic and that he's just fucking around. And Gino tried to confirm, and Bill confirmed, no, it's really good. I really liked Happy Gilmore too. There's no accounting for taste. There's no accounting for taste. Silverwolf with $5 says, who banned my sweet baby hobo on Rumble? Just gave him a quick timeout. I don't know if he was drunk or like what happened, but he was going through it this morning, and it was just over and over and over. I just gave him a little timeout. Like, as much fun as we had this weekend, it's like, just be cool. Like, you know me, for decades now, I've let my audience we talk shit, and we can make jokes and all that, but it's like, just be cool. Like, don't be fucking psychotic. Like, I think that's what I'm trying to weed out, is the mentally ill psychosis, like the psychotic behavior, where it's like, all right, you're interneting a little too hard. Like, take it easy. That's why, I didn't want to, Eric Cartman believed some bullshit this morning that's so unbelievably retarded that but I don't want to time him out. I like him. So I'm like, dude, just don't internet so hard. So that's kind of more the vibe that we're putting out. It is $200 today. That is the goal. So keep those 5s and 10s coming. I appreciate it. So I guess they're shooting executives again in the same place that the United Health CEO was shot. He was shot outside the building that this New York shooting happened in. A Blackstone executive was among the 4 people killed in a Midtown New York City shooting yesterday. This guy, he killed a cop. He killed a Blackstone executive. It was a grisly scene. The poor police officer, I don't know if you read about him, but the cop that got killed, he had, I think, 3 kids, and his wife is having another one. Like, the 4th one's on its way. Just a really sad story. And I don't know if is the Blackstone executive. They said that the location he picked was intentional. They said it was. They're not saying like he did it to send a message yet. They're not saying he's like full Luigi Mangione with this thing. But they are saying that, the office area he picked wasn't random. So this could have been a targeted Blackstone thing. Either way, really terrible news. I haven't heard. That's what I thought at first too. People are like, Blackstone, like the flat grills? No, like it's an investment firm. Like it's a banking company. Yeah, everybody in the chat is writing, you mean the grills? The grills? Is that what you're talking about? No, I didn't know there was another Blackstone. I thought they meant BlackRock. I thought they were saying it wrong. I'm like, did he mean to go after the multinational hedge fund, or was he like mad about the way? Because, the thing about those Blackstone grills, like what people don't tell you is if it gets really windy, it's going to take a lot longer for all that shit to cook. So maybe he got mad. But apparently there's an investment firm called Blackstone as well. And imagine that was the first piece of news I heard since Friday, basically since Hulk Hogan died. Because like I said, I check out over the weekend. I don't follow the news. I don't do anything like that. I don't see anything. If I do see something, it's purely by accident. And the first piece of news I get is we're in the car today, and Gino tells me about the shooting in New York. And I looked at him, I go, oh, well, that's a great way to go, dive back into the news before a show, is a fucking grisly shooting in New York City. But if it was targeted and it was about, banks or executives or anything like that, that would be 2 within a year. That's a troubling trend for a lot of people. Mr. Beat says Blackstone is buying up all the residential houses. They are a major reason why house prices have gone up. Yeah, I think we found out it was like $58 billion in international money was spent buying American single-family homes last year. And it's like, we got to make that illegal. Like, I know my libertarian brethren will say that, well, free markets and anyone can buy anything. I do want a little protectionism. I want a little protectionism. I want to stop foreign money from buying American homes because it's such economic manipulation. The average home buyer in America right now is 56 years old. That just doesn't seem sustainable to me. To have the average home buyer be 56. It's basically, boomer is almost the cutoff. They're the only one. That's the average age of buying a house. Somebody said he may have been dyslexic and he meant to shoot a BlackRock employee. Well, maybe. Again, this was the first day that I had heard that there was a Blackstone company that wasn't the Grills. Boomer Bob Show says, were any Whitestones targeted in this attack? Mild says, first piece of news. So you haven't heard about Sydney Sweeney's jeans or the tea app being spilled? I have no idea what any of that means. I know who Sydney Sweeney is, but I don't know anything about Sydney Sweeney's jeans or the tea. I don't know what the tea app is, and I don't know why it got spilled. That's Eric Cartman says another false flag to take the pressure off the Trump and Epstein shit. I believe in that kind of stuff for sure, but at the same time, I also think that like this stuff where they're going after executives, I really don't, and maybe I'm wrong here, and maybe people are further down the rabbit hole than I am. That's understandable. I think that might be a real thing that's going on. I don't think that the shooting the executives is a false flag. And again, people, like I said, I totally tap out over the weekend. So there's people who live, eat, and breathe this stuff, and they're reading stuff on it all the time. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's not so good. But I think that the whole Luigi Mangione thing, I don't think that's like a false flag or a psyop. And if this guy was going after the company that's buying up residential houses and jacking up the cost of housing, I don't know if that's a psyop. I really don't. Hey, Miss Tay, thank you for the $20. Let's throw her the Hogan drop. Oh. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. There you go. And now Miss Tay is tied for first with $20. And we are at 180. I suppose we like to be at 200 by 8:30, right? Do you guys want to do $100 by 8:30? Works. It would work for me if it doesn't inconvenience you too bad. So Helgi's in third with $10. Amber's in fourth with $10. And Silver Wolf is going to start today in the cuck chair at $5. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your generosity. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, distraction from Epstein and all that stuff. Nah, I really do think that this was a guy, a damaged dude who was maybe trying to send a message, I think. Big It on social media says M hasn't been a retard. Well, he hasn't had an opportunity to, I suppose. All right. So, yeah, as far as that New York story goes, if people have their conspiracy theories on it, I'll listen. But ultimately, I don't think that's any kind of false flag or any kind of like cover up for the Epstein Trump thing. That cat's out of the bag too. Like they fucked that up so hard. And now the rumors that Ghislaine Maxwell is going to get her sentence commuted or that she could get clemency because she's going to talk. And if she talks, if the Trump administration worked out a deal where she's going to talk, the only thing she's going to say is shit that backs up what the Trump administration is saying. So I don't think if they go, oh, we're letting Ghislaine Maxwell out of jail if she testifies, I don't think that's going to be like, oh, look out, here we go. She's going to expose all the. No, if anything, they're going to let her out so that she can be like, oh, yeah, no, there was no list. There was no nothing. And yeah, this whole thing was just a big misunderstanding, I guess. Is that where we're at with Epstein? The whole thing, just a giant misunderstanding. Who knew? That we all just, I think the rest of us should probably apologize for being so presumptuous. I think that's kind of our fault, isn't it? Could you imagine? Could you imagine the balls on Trump? Like, he might as well, the way he's been fucking up this Epstein thing, he might as well go the whole way and goes, and not for nothing, guys, but I think all of you owe us an apology. You were really, really hard on us. And clearly, as you can see here, from Pam Bondi and Ghislaine Maxwell, we've done nothing wrong. We exonerate ourselves. Look, Gino and I had a discussion about this on the way in, and it's this. I think Trump's in it. I think Trump's in it more than he thought he was going to be in it. I think they had more on him than he thought, and he fully intended to release all this Epstein stuff, but now it's too much of a risk. It's too much of a liability, so he's trying to do what everybody else did. He's not doing anything Obama didn't do. He's not doing anything Biden didn't do or Clinton. He's sweeping it under the rug too. But he brought it to light first. Like, he brought it up first and then tried to bury it. That's where he fucked up. And again, I think it's because he's in it and there's more stuff on him and Epstein than originally thought. Bigot on... Oops, sorry. I fucked that up. They are briefing her to behave, says Bigot on socialist media. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that if she's getting out of jail, she ain't getting out of jail to rat on all these guys. She's getting out of jail to back him up. And honestly, Ghislaine Maxwell, I mean, that's who you go to for credibility. Trump owes Prince Andrew a huge apology. Well, see, that's the problem. Like, if Trump's going to go with this as the narrative about Epstein, then yeah, I guess technically he does owe Prince Andrew an apology. But I believe Prince Andrew did all the shit that Virginia Giuffre said that he did. And that's the other thing. Virginia Giuffre dies just before, right after Virginia Giuffre dies, the Trump administration goes, oh yeah, it turns out the whole Epstein thing is a big nothing burger. So the one person who's publicly shared all the secrets and the one person who's shown that she's willing to fact check any of this Epstein stuff, the minute she croaks, all of a sudden then nothing ever happened. Yeah, Chips and Diff says Ghislaine will get a Medal of Honor for being so brave. So brave. Eric Hartman says the fact that the shooting was in New York makes my real raw news brain go into overdrive. No, I hear you. Look, there's going to be a lot of people who are like, this is a psyop. This is a thing to get our minds off the Epstein stuff. But I don't, that, like I said, I think that genie's out of the bottle. I don't think Trump's getting that one back in. Eric Hartman says the fact that, Zenman Build says if Trump was actually in it, Biden and the Dems would have used it. I keep hearing that. But at the same time, like, what if they're all in it? If they're all in it, then why would they release it just to embarrass Trump? It might fuck them up. And is that worth it just to win one election when you can let him have his 4 years and then you're done with him? Especially if he's going to fuck up the Epstein stuff this poorly. Captain Joe says, I think he is covering for family members like his son-in-law, Jared. He looks like a pedo. I mean, Jared does have there is a look to Jared Kushner, and it doesn't look innocent. Anonymous says, Ghislaine Maxwell will be the benefactor of the Nobel Peace Prize if she talks. So stunning and brave. So stunning and brave. Dead Game says, hey, Prince Andrew was damaged. Poor fella can't sweat. Yeah, remember that? He's like, that woman accused me of sweating profusely, which, see, I can't be a pedophile. I can't be a pedophile because I don't have the ability to sweat. And then didn't they ask him, like, wow, you can't sweat? And he's like, well, no, I couldn't sweat back then. I can sweat now. Oh, interesting. You got a doctor's note there for us, buddy? Yeah, like Eric Hartman says, Prince Andrew was stripped of everything. He lost his titles. He lost his money. Dude, he lost it all. So you can't say that this is all bullshit and there's no list or anything like that. What did they take Prince Andrew's shit away for? You know? Again, Virginia Giuffre was the one that did him in, and Virginia Giuffre was one of the big voices that put Ghislaine Maxwell away. Once Virginia Giuffre dies, because, she was so sick, then all of a sudden, Maxwell might get out. Prince Andrew might get all of his stuff back. Epstein never had a list. I mean, it's unbelievable how this stuff all just falls together. It's so disgusting. $10 from Captain Joe. Says he has no choice but to release everything in the files as soon as possible. If he does not, he loses 40 to 50 seats in the House and maybe a seat or two in the Senate. Well, that would be enough, right? That would do him in. That would lose his majorities. And, again, if he wouldn't have brought the thing back up, if he wouldn't have tried to raise that sunken ship that is the Epstein documents or the Epstein files, he never would have to go through all this embarrassment. If he just would have left it dead, he probably still would have been okay. Let's thank you very much, Captain Joe. We got to put him in the cuck chair over Silverwolf, and then Miss Tay. Oh, wait a minute. No. Captain Joe. No, Silverwolf is still in the cuck chair with $5. Captain Joe is now at $30. He's in second place. Miss Tay is in first at $45 because she just gifted 5 Rumble memberships. Thank you so much, Miss Tay. That's going to put Captain Joe in second at 30. Helgi in third with 10. Amber in fourth with 10. And Silverwolf in the cuck chair with 5. And that puts us just 155 away from today's goal. Give Miss Tay a Hogan for the membership drop.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
And thanks again, guys. Thanks for welcoming us back to the show today. 155 is the number. Let's get to 100 by 8:30. That sounds good to me. You want to do it by 8? Let's not get greedy. $100 by 8:30? Sounds all right. Loaded Wrench with $2. Thank you, pal. He says, look up Maxwell and Supreme Court. Just saw this. Oh, no. I don't. Do I want to? Ghislaine Maxwell, Supreme Court. Asks U.S. Supreme Court to overturn her conviction. Urges the Supreme Court to hear her appeal, says the Department of Justice wants to distract. Well, they're officially going for the appeal. Could the Supreme Court at least be the one who will stand up and go, no, this is all a fucking travesty? Can somebody, somewhere down the line, stand athwart history and yell stop? That would be good. So far, it's Trump didn't do it. Bongino didn't do it. Patel, Bondi, none of them did it. Maybe the Supreme Court. Does anyone have faith that anyone's going to step in at some point and be like, this is all like incredibly fucked up? McBuster says the DOJ has been grooming Maxwell what to say as not to implicate Trump, but has to give up some names. You were supposed to destroy the deep state, not lead it into a golden age, Donald. Oh, shit. Well, she's, I would like to think that the Supreme Court ain't coming to help her. I don't think the Supreme Court's coming to help Ghislaine Maxwell. And you're asking me, where am I pulling that from? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm pulling it directly out of my ass, but I just need that to be true. Over 600 of you checking out the show. Hey, over 600, and we started an hour late, and a lot of people didn't know we were doing a show today. Thank you very much for joining us. That's so nice. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, and again, keep knocking out that goal. I sure do appreciate it. Atomic Ray with $1 says there is a new event in Overwatch 2 this afternoon. I don't know what that is. There's a new event in Overwatch 2. Let's see. Winter Wonderland and Lunar New Year. I have no idea what the fuck Overwatch even is. And I'm sure that makes me some kind of gay dork for not knowing what that is. But so far, when I got back in touch with the news and I got following stuff again, it was shooting in New York, shitty Happy Gilmore movie, and Ghislaine Maxwell might get either a pardon or win on appeal in the Supreme Court. It's just roses after our incredible weekend and after all the fun we had and after all the anger we stirred up. You know what was very funny about that anniversary show is even the people who came there to hate it, one of them left almost crying. I walked him to his car, and he was someone who caused someone to have a violation on their restraining order, and I walked him to his car, and he's pouting. And I'm asking the guy, I go, what's wrong? Because I knew what he was. And I go, what's wrong? What's the matter? Come on, don't cry. He goes, ask Cheetos what happened. Like his voice was trembling. It was so sad. It was so, oh man. But then the other ones, like they were cool. Like they were having a great time. They even told us to go, oh, well, there's the one guy who looked like Stevie Louie told me I'm actually having a really good time, and all these people are pretty fun. Like, this is a pretty fun time. I'm like, fucking A right it is, buddy. Just have some fun. You've already been complicit in breaking the law, so you might as well have a good time. Boy, that guy, he really fucked his people over, but hey, look, I ain't here to stop him. And then they had to project and pretend that happened. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. We had so much fun. And then I go into like show stuff. I go into news and stuff like that after fun golf, fun anniversary show. And then I go into the news and it's just like, hey, here's a shitty Happy Gilmore sequel. Here's a madam who probably blackmailed a bunch of rich and powerful Americans. Here's her possibly getting out of jail. And here's a guy fucking murdering 4 people in a mass shooting in New York. And then there some crazy naked guy is running around the Minnesota Capitol too. It was just, you come back to the world and you come back to the news and oh boy. McBuster says, did you wash the sheets Gino slept in with bleach twice? They have their own sheets when they come here. I have guest sheets. I change the bedding in the bed that they sleep in, and I put the guest sheets in there. And now today I'll strip those sheets and wash them and get them ready for the next group. Whoever else comes and visits Casa de Steel Toe. Dr. Silverwolf with $5 says Overwatch 2 is a shitty shooter, that the character models are more known and used for porn than the actual game. Wow. Speaking of porn, I watched an interesting documentary. That's always a great start to a sentence, by the way. Just speaking of porn. I watched a great documentary on like the guy, that Bergman guy who owns all the porn on the internet, who runs the whole thing. Really fascinating and remarkably evil. Like really, really evil. Jim Sharkey says no Amber Heard incidents, no duty in the bed sheets. No duty in the bed sheets. No duty in the bed sheets. It was clean. Well, no, you know what? Technically, I haven't checked the bed sheets, so I can't confirm, but I don't think he would duty in the bed sheets. I don't think there's any poop in my bed. Now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm wondering if maybe I should go check. But no, there'd be no duty in the sheets. Doggo Doesn't Die with $2 says, shout out to No Pen 15, Fathead, and K-Fallen the Great. We had fun bullshitting at the anniversary. I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad everybody had a good time. It's just, it's how we do. It's just it's infectious. People can't help it. They have to have a good time. McBuster says Kiki left her used tampons on the kitchen counter again. Nobody takes out their tampon and just puts it on a counter. Keanu did not leave dirty tampons in the house. Although I do think Gino maybe walked in and out of the house with a lit cigar because I went upstairs this morning before I started the show and I kind of got faint cigar smell. I'm going to have to address that today. Just clean up and scrub and scentify or something. I don't know. Or it could just be me. Even though I showered this morning, I had so many cigars this weekend. It could be that maybe I'm just caked in it. It's possible. Everybody had a good time outside of Crunchy. Oh, I don't know. Crunchy seemed to have a good time. It's just that she annoyed the fuck out of a lot of people. I don't think Crunchy didn't have a great time. I just think she rubbed a few people the wrong way. Oh God, I had people asking me on Sunday. I'm getting DMs and stuff from people. Can we kick her out of this? Can we kick her out of that? I'm like, guys, it's over. It's done with. Who cares? It's not a big deal. It's fine. Look, we can all have a bad day. It happens. We can all have a bad day. Stem Show says, I don't know. April seemed like the type to do that with the tampon. Nobody does that with tampons. Nobody. Even like mental patients don't do that just leave them on a counter somewhere. Yeah, Crunchy had a weird night. She pissed a few people off. What do you do, right? Like I said, we all have a bad night here and there. You bounce back. Blacklight the sheets for Nick Fuentes. Someone said, "Oh, Nick Fuentes wants to know if there's any jizz on the sheets." I'm with Matt on this one. I think a lot of people were mad because she was being a shit. And I think all is forgiven now. All is forgiven. I know you guys get fired up. Everybody likes their drama and everything, but I don't know. I think it's fine. Mudbutt Beardo with $9.99 says, did they leave any crappy draws around the house to assert dominance? I can say with almost 100% certainty that there is no poo-poo, pee-pee, blood. There are no bodily fluids just resting about my home today. I promise you. Jesus. Dick Von Du says, I've had to clean women's restrooms. It was pure trauma. You poor thing. You poor thing. No, I'm not going to take a black light to the sheets. I'm just going to throw them in the wash, get them ready for the next time we have visitors, and that's it. I know some of you want me to do an investigation. I will not be doing an investigation. I will just be appreciating the great time I had with old friends and cleaning up. How does it benefit me to know? Like, let's say some fucked up shit happened. Isn't it better not to know about it? That just seems happier to me. Chino left an upper decker. I would have smelled that one. My friend. 145 away from today's goal. Thank you for those contributions. 145 away from today. Keep going, by the way. Let's hammer that out. It's going great. McBuster says, Gordy was appalled by Kiki's lack of hygiene. Even Gordy won't poop on the counter. She didn't poop on the counter. I will say again, Keanu never went poo on the kitchen counter. Honest Injun. All right, let's go into the next thing. Oh, yeah, we got Bill Maher admitting he was wrong. You know what? This is actually refreshing. I like seeing stuff like this. So Bill Maher had, I want to say, Charlie Kirk on his show. No, Charlie Kirk posted this. Bill Maher was talking about tariffs. Now, I don't like tariffs, but it feels like I'm kind of the last guy to be holding out on the tariffs thing. Other people seem to like it because they saw that in June they had a surplus. We had a budget surplus in June. And in June, a lot of that budget surplus was due to the fact that we had a lot of tariff income. So people are liking that. They think it could work. Like, even if we don't get these trade deals done, we'll get all this tariff income. And then Trump's talking about maybe cutting taxes or sending out checks, tariff checks for Americans. People are obviously going to love that. We'll see. Before we get to the Bill Maher clip, though, about I never thought that Bill Maher would be cool with tariffs before I was. Mudbutt Beardo with $5 says, did you sniff any of their draws? Any scratch and sniffing going on? I don't know what you guys do when you have guests. I don't know how you treat said guests. I don't know how you behave around said guests, but no, that's not how we do it here. We don't sniff the draws. We don't analyze the draws. We don't blacklight the draws. We do the fucking laundry and we move on with our life. That's what we do. Thank you, Mudbutt. You're now in third place. That puts Helgi in fourth, Amber in the cuck chair, and it puts us 140 away from this morning's goal. Thank you for all of your contributions, and keep it up. Maybe we can get to 100 by 8 o'clock, but 8:30 is fine too. Oodles of Toodles says it wasn't the counter, it was the glass coffee table show with Aaron and Gino watching from below. Again, it was a very normal trip, very normal people, and Gino was fun. Triggered the shit out of a lot of people who choose to be triggered. Like, I don't get that. I don't get choosing to make yourself miserable. It really is the guy standing in the corner meme. You know, everybody else is partying and having fun, not even paying attention to that guy, and the guy in the corner's like, they don't know that I'm watching the steel toe anniversary. It's fine, buddy. That's what we're all here for too. Like, we're all here doing the same thing. I mean, you didn't have to commit a crime to do it, but I guess, you know, when you have mentally ill people for followers, they're easily led. Easily led. All right, let's go to the Bill Maher thing. Bill Maher says he's turning the corner on tariffs. I'll hear him out.
I remember along with probably most people, was saying at the beginning, oh, you know, by the 4th of July, somebody had to think how the country was, the economy was going to be tanked by then. And I was kind of like, well, that seems right to me. But that didn't happen. Now, it could happen tomorrow. I'm just saying that's reality. So let's work first from the reality of that, not from I just hate Donald Trump. Because that's boring and doesn't get us anywhere and leads you to dishonesty. Because the truth is, I don't know what his strategy is. But look.
I think his strategy is becoming clear. At first I thought his strategy was, we'll make these tariffs unbearable for these countries, and they'll do a trade deal with us, or they'll do more manufacturing in the United States. And I think what it's kind of morphed into is, or if they don't do those things, we'll just collect extra tariff revenue. So, I mean, he's kind of manipulated it into a win-win in many ways, especially, dude, if he starts making enough on those tariffs that he can start cutting American workers checks once or twice a year, that's going to win a lot of people over. That's going to shut up a lot of people about tariffs.
The stock market is at record highs. I know not everybody lives by the stock market, but I also drive around. I don't see a country in a depression at all. I see people out there just living their lives. And I would have thought, and I got to own it, that these tariffs were going to fucking sink this economy by this time, and they didn't.
And, you know, look, that's, I mean, understandable because Bill Maher has been very anti-Trump. He's very left-wing. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Bill's initial thoughts were, it's a fucking disaster. This is going to be awful. It's probably what he thinks about most things Trump tries to do. But I don't know, man. You know this from COVID with me. As long as people can admit they're wrong, I'm happy to, you know, welcome them aboard. I'm a better late than never kind of guy, you know, better late than never. Hulkamasha Baby with $1 says, yeah, with 50% of your guests, you swap. That is, it's not funny. It's not funny. Also, speaking of my guests, oh, God damn it. There was a story I wanted to tell just before I went to that Hulkamasha baby thing. Shit, there was, guests. Speaking of guests, Oz hosted the anniversary comedy show with Hulk Hogan. Like, not only was Oz back, but Oz was his old self again. Oz was up there hosting, doing a great job, talking to people. Everyone loved him. And then there was a guy there that we just kept calling Corey Adam because he was just a bigger, taller, fatter Corey Adam with the beard. And we just said, it's been a couple of years. His look changed a little bit. But Oz was there. I'll tell you who makes that anniversary show really easy is Matt and Grinch Girl. Because they enthusiastically take over that cornhole tournament, and I just get to do whatever during that show. I just get to hang out, play the game, sing some songs, drink a little drink, smoke a little smoke. And it makes it really fun. So that kind of all hands on deck approach, I really do appreciate it because it made the whole day amazingly fun. Dead Game says, Hogan is dead. How'd that go? He came back for a Hulkamaniac. He knew how big of a Hulkamaniac I was, and he came back for one more day. Tin the Toolman Taylor says, instead of giving taxpayers checks, he should pay off some of the U.S. debt. I mean, shooting a BB gun at a freight train, but yeah, I hear you. Somebody, too, says, so you're going to get Oz on the show at least one more time? Yes. Yeah, Oz will be back on. We talked about it Saturday night quite a bit. Doggo Doesn't Die says, Matt and Grinch were great. Loved hanging out with them. They really do. They do a great job helping out with that anniversary show. Ooh, you know what? I've got that thing now. You know that vibe you hit when your hangover hits with your energy drink and you kind of have this weird, this clash of up and down? I got that weird wavy sensation. I should know that like I'm going to have to pay for these last 3 days. Like I'm not just going to get up, do the show, and then after the show, be like, well, whistle while I work, mow the lawn, do the laundry. We're going to be fine. Go see the kids, the whole deal. No, I'm probably going to have to sleep some of it off at some point. I'm probably still running on some fumes, not like alcohol fumes. I mean, like adrenaline fumes from the weekend. Twisted Question Mark says you need to be drinking only water and electrolytes. I got a shitload of pickle juice up in the fridge. That's a weird sentence to say. That's good, though. That's good. That feeling is diarrhea building up, says Ep didn't. Well, I'm glad it's a natural bodily function. That's a plus. At least it's stuff that's supposed to be in there. So we last we heard on Friday was that Candace Owens was being sued by the French president and his wife, Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron, because Candace Owens has been going on her show and going on Twitter and saying that Brigitte Macron is a dude. Now, I've also heard other people say, some of them jokingly, some of them swear by it, that Brigitte Macron's a guy. That at one point there's high school pictures out there and she was a man and all that stuff. And they decided finally, we're suing this fucking lady. I mean, she's got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers. She keeps telling them I'm a dude. Enough is enough. I need to get her to stop. So they're going to sue her for defamation. This was last Wednesday. And usually when you get sued for defamation or you get served with something, you dummy up. You clam up. You don't say anything. You have some self-control or else. Well, Candace Owens is taking a novel approach to this whole thing. She's doubling down. So if Brigitte Macron is going to get paid For Candace Owens saying she's a dude, Candace Owens is going to make her earn that money through public humiliation. And, this really seems like it should be an easy thing to prove or disprove. Just go in a room with a judge or a lawyer, show your genitals, and if you got some guy stuff still hanging around, then Candace is technically right and she wins the lawsuit. If it's just a vagina and it's a normal lady's vagina that she's had her whole life, Candace loses. But we got to drag this thing out. All the lawyers got to get their money. Let's listen to Candace Owens.
You were born a man and you will die a man. That's the point I'm making. So give us a sample. I'll send my doctors to take your blood. Figure it out real quick, however you want to go about this. Hey, how about just giving us some pictures again of you growing up, raising your children? That would be fine.
Oh, is the rumor also that the kids aren't hers? Because that's the Michelle Obama thing, too. Is that she's actually Big Mike. She's a guy named Michael. And that she transitioned. That's the big Barack Obama rumor. And it really doesn't help Barack's case when he goes on podcasts and says, all men need a gay friend. Barack, you're not helping the whole, your wife pegs you rumor by doing shit like this. But yeah, what is it with powerful Western leaders and the idea that they might have married women who used to be dudes? It's There's enough coincidence there for it to be investigated. So Candace Owens is not backing down on the Bridget Macron stuff. She claimed that she was born a male. And, oh, wow. So Candace Owens says that she groomed Emmanuel Macron and that she molests him. Groomed her allegedly gay husband. That's the rumor. So Emmanuel Macron, in Candace's words, Emmanuel Macron's a gay dude. He went for this older lady who used to be a dude, and she groomed him. Wow. Story's so much more fucked up the more you dig into it, if any of it's true.
It is time for you to wake up. So we will start from the top here with a photo of Brigitte Macron. Real name, Jean-Michel Trogneux. That person that you are looking at on the right is not a woman. If you need any more evidence that Brigitte Macron is definitely a man, it is just what is happening right now. The idea that you would file this lawsuit is all of the proof that you need.
Well, now, wait a minute. If you're a woman and someone's accusing you of being a dude, then you do, in fairness to Miss Macron, you do want to defend yourself from these charges that you're a guy. What are you supposed to do? Just let the podcast lady talk about what a guy you are? She does have a right to file a lawsuit and try to defend herself in court, but I understand what you're saying, Candace. Couple accused Owens of pushing a conspiracy theory that Macron was born a man, stole another person's identity, and transitioned to become Brigitte. According to the 200-page complaint filed in Delaware, which contains what it calls the most extreme allegations made by Owens about the Macrons.
Macron has been tasked now with going out to the public and trying to dissuade them from believing that his wife, Brigitte Macron, was actually born a man.
They met when Brigitte was the future French leader's school teacher in 1993. Okay, it's a little fucked up and weird. It's actually very fucked up and weird. That's a strange way to start your relationship. In fact, that raises a lot of questions, but okie dokie. How do we, when do we think she chopped off her cock? Oh my God, she was 39. He was 15 when they met. Yeah, this is fucked up. Why isn't that the first thing people talk about? Why do we go right to, oh, she was a dude, she cut her dick off? Why is it the 39-15 thing? Even for gay dudes, that's a gap. I believe Emmanuel Macron is a homosexual that was groomed from his youth, Owens said. I believe the individual who groomed him is his now wife. I believe that his wife was born Jean-Michel Trognau and transitioned in his early 30s. Wow. Lawsuit also cited statements made by Owens on her podcast that claimed Mrs. Macron and President Macron are blood relatives committing incest. Well, I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound, right? Throw shit at the wall, see what sticks. I mean, it sounds like she's telling a story to someone who's hard to impress. She's like, yeah, the French president's wife's a dude. Oh, okay. They met when she was his middle school teacher. Oh, well, it's kind of fucked up. Well, she groomed him at a very young age, and they're actually related. They're brother and sister, and they're fucking each other. He's like, all right, you got me. This is weird now. Well, they'd be brother and brother, I guess. Brother. President Macron was chosen to be president of the CIA as part of the, president of France as part of the CIA-operated MK Ultra program or a similar mind control program. Holy shit. Candace left the Daily Wire and she just went headfirst into real raw news. All right, we know about MK Ultra and what all that is. All right, well, interesting. I mean, can you imagine though, like if she wins, like if Macron doesn't get any money out of this, that's kind of the risk of suing Candace Owens. If you don't get any money, then all of a sudden it's going to be the rest of the world going, oh, you're a dude. It's like, well, no, not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily mean Bridget Macron's a dude. It just means she couldn't prove that she was defamed when Candace Owens called her a dude. Say mildly different. Mildly. Chips and Diff says, why would you want to hit that wrinkly old snatch? Well, I mean, it takes all kinds. People have their taste. Mr. Beat says she may be listening to Ian Carroll a little bit too much. She is going down a lot of different rabbit holes. Like, Macron's a dude. They're actually related. This is all incestuous. What the hell? Sam Show says this won't stop people saying she's a dude. It'll make the story more interesting. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you don't sue, then Candace Owens just gets to go around saying you've got a cock. And then if you do sue, now everyone else is going to be like, why'd you sue? Was there any truth to the fact that you have a cock? Like, it's just people are going to talk about it. Either way. Sam Show says taste. She had a taste for 14 to 15-year-olds at the ripe old age of 40. Well, I mean, well, yeah, if that part's true. That's kind of the whole thing with this lawsuit is like, how do you prove what's true or what's not outside of, like Candace Owens said, a blood test and dick check, I guess. That's how you figure it out. Hey, guys, pee break one of many today. I'm draining from the weekend. I will say that. There's going to be, and I'm drinking the water. I'm going to crack the second Red Bull for today because I can already feel my eyeballs getting heavy. Professor Tie-Dye says, is it worth suing over or just ignoring? I feel like ignoring it would be the best way to go because Candace Owens is just going to keep running her fucking mouth. And this is just going to make it more popular. More people are going to read about it and hear about it. All right, guys, $140 away from today's goal. You're doing great so far. Keep gifting those memberships on Rumble. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Goal is down pretty low. So do me a solid and toss a couple of bucks, and let's get back. Our first full day, but well, not full, but our first day back from the anniversary show. Good to hit goals and good to hit them easy. So keep going. I will be right back in just a moment. Like I said, first P of about 900 today. Oh, that is such an odd. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this way. Hangover peas are just weird peas. It's just, it's like your body's life force is draining it. Whatever moisture you're holding on to that's keeping you alive, you're watching it just fly out of your system. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Oh, people saying comb your hair too. Look, I figured I would just keep the hair the way it was today, and just like I said, I had a trip to the airport early this morning, and I was going to come on here at 7, a quick little, maybe a $200 goal, maybe knock that out, talk a little news with you guys, and then get about my day. So doing my hair was not, I dragged my ass in the house. I didn't feel like doing the hair. Yeah, Chips and Diff says even the spider is tight. Yeah, the spider needs a rest too, guys. The spider does deserve a rest from time to time. Isn't that fair to give the spider a rest? Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. I do feel better than yesterday. Everyone who saw me yesterday went, yesterday's show was funny. You were a fucking wreck, and I was. I was a complete and total wreck. 140 is the number for today. Let's gifted membership at a time, $5-10 at a time. I like that. We're close, and it's only 8 o'clock, so keep humping, boys and girls. The burning in your pecker is not alcohol. Oh, see, I didn't know that. We got a count, and this is so disgusting because when you talk about numbers from Israel and Gaza and all that, like if you make an Israeli death toll on something higher, the Israelis go with that one. But if you point out a Palestinian death toll, Israel always poo-poos it away and goes, no, that's the terrorists counting, or that's this group, and this group is anti-Semitic, and this group doesn't like us, so that doesn't count. That many people haven't died. And it's always because the numbers always make Israel look really fucking bad. Like, really bad. The thing they like to do about October 7th is they like to go, actually, because of population, it's almost like 69-11s. Like, they do this victimhood ranking thing. But then when you say, hey, if as many people in New York City died as have died in Gaza from your bombs, and they'd be like, no, that is not how that goes. And those are fake numbers. And you're just spouting terrorist propaganda or whatever Netanyahu would say on the Nelk Boys. But it's just like, it's just one of those things where, like, watching people cherry pick evidence. And when that evidence is human lives, it's kind of fucking gross. You got to pick a lane. You can't say that these numbers are not the real numbers because they make you look shittier. And then when numbers make you look more sympathetic, go, oh yeah, these are for sure legit. These are the real numbers. 1,000%. So in Gaza, they found out that over 60,000 Palestinians have died in the 21 months since October 7th. 1,200 Israelis died on October 7th. And in 2 years, 60,000 Palestinians have lost their lives. Did you see the latest one from earlier this week? Did you see the Israelis lost one of the Daily Wire guy? I wonder if Michael Knowles is going to get shit canned from the Daily Wire. By the way, I wanted to talk about this today since we're on this story. Michael Knowles, I got to say, I've never been a Michael Knowles guy. Kid's got balls. I like him. Not balls. But Michael Knowles is kind of off the Israel bandwagon because the Israelis bombed a church in Gaza. He also told me, and I when I was watching this clip, I didn't know this, but apparently the Catholics, there aren't many, but there are Catholics in Gaza, and they all support Hamas. I didn't know that. I thought that, like, Christians were like, this is where Jesus is going to come back, and we're blah, blah, blah. But apparently they do not like it. The Catholics do not like Israel in Gaza. But 60,000 people, 60,000. You understand, if Israel kills 60,000 Palestinians a year for 100 years, that would be... Never mind. But yeah, it's just, I want to see if I can find this Knowles clip for you. Because it really was telling. Unfortunately, I don't think it went crazy viral. I saw it. I happened upon it. Is losing American Christians. Here it is. Yes, this is the clip. Good for him for doing this because, he's on the Daily Wire. And the last time a host on the Daily Wire decided to speak out against Israel or start asking questions about Israel, it was Candace Owens, and Ben Shapiro did not take too kindly to that. Before we do that clip, thank you to Smiles a Lot for You for gifting a membership. I appreciate that. We're about 135 away from today's goal. Also, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Looks like over 700 of you checking out a 1 hour late Steel Toe show. Thank you so much. That's awesome, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Smiles a Lot for You for gifting that membership. Everybody jump in there and gift a membership. Or you know what we haven't done in a long time? A PayPal Streamlabs Venmo. We haven't done that in a while. 135 is today's number. Help us knock it out. You guys are looking good. And thank you so much. Pig Newton becoming a member for a month says, who had the best stand-up set Saturday night? I didn't watch a lot of them because Oz and I was catching up with Oz. And when I'm talking to people, I go out the back doors. Stop it. I go out to the street. And Cheetos would be out there sometimes. Oz and I would go out there and we talk, or Johnny would be out there. I don't like to talk during people's set. Johnny, everybody killed though. Like I just played a character. I did the Hulk Hogan thing and cut promos. It was my celebration day. I didn't, no expectations of me. But Johnny was getting huge laughs when I was outside. Keanu fucking crushed it. She had huge laughs while I was out there. And Gino had him in a fucking uproar. When Gino does stand-up, I can never tell if he's doing stand-up or a rally. I can never tell which one it is. But everybody did very, very well. And, Johnny doesn't get out and do stand-up as much as he used to. And for him to still be sharp, that was impressive, man. That was impressive. So good for all three of them. And Oz did a great job as host, especially seeing as I sprung it on him, 4 or 5 hours before the thing was, before the comedy show even started. He did pretty well. Thank you guys for the gifted memberships and all of that. I appreciate it. Somebody too writes, 20 people in Israel get killed. Oh my God, worst thing in the world. Nothing can compete. Israel kills thousands and thousands of people. They deserve it. How fucked up can your mind be? It is fucked up, especially when you tell people, hey, 60,000 Palestinians have been killed in 2 years. That's an insane number. How many people live in Gaza? So Gaza's population is about 2.2 million people, and 60,000 Palestinians have died there in 2 years. That's a crazy number. Crazy number. How many 9/11s would that be? We only do that when it's Israeli deaths. But it is gross when people do that on one side, but they don't do it for the other. Like when it's Israel, they're like 1,200 people on October 7th would be like a bunch of 9/11s. And then it's 60,000 Palestinians. That's such a crazy number. And it's so violent and it's so awful. And they'll be like, I bet you that's not accurate. You got to consider who your source is. It's like they're not pulling it completely out of their ass. Let's say it's not 60. Let's say they're off and it's 40,000. That's still fucking madness. And also, what's it called? October 7th, I keep wanting to say 9/11. October 7th was really bad. So why do you get to do 50 of them? Again, it doesn't make sense. The math ain't mathin'. Raz of Chaz with $2 says, I'd like to sell my anniversary show tickets. I hear they are collectible. RIP Crunchy, $20 to the goal. Thank you, Raz of Chaz, for the $2. 135 is the number for today. No, there was no broadcast of it. We did not authorize it. I didn't want there's no broadcast of the anniversary show. There's no filming of the anniversary show. I did not authorize that. It's always a private event. So we appreciate you guys if you came out and you were there. So let's do this Michael Knowles thing. This is one of Ben Shapiro's boys. This is like his, obviously Brett Cooper left. Candace Owens is gone. So now you have, I think, Andrew Klavan, Matt Walsh, and Michael Knowles. And Michael Knowles has been going on like pretty critical of Israel. And as we know, Ben Shapiro does not take kindly to people being critical towards Israel. So let's take a listen here.
Speaking of church, we turn now from Muslims to Christians. Horrible story out of Gaza. Horrible story. The IDF has struck the only Catholic church in Gaza. According to the reporting, 10:20 a.m. yesterday, the compound of the Holy Family in Gaza, which belongs to the Latin Patriarch, was struck by the Israeli army. 3 people died from their injuries. 9 others were wounded, including...
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure Israel will let us know that Hamas was hiding rockets in the church. Every time Israel blows up a hospital or an orphanage or something like that, they always go, oh, well, Hamas is hiding weapons there. That's where Hamas is using human shields there. It's like, oh, really? So you guys just never fuck up. You're always doing the right thing, always going after the bad guys. It's that damn Hamas just pulling babies right in front of your bombs at the last minute. I tell you, what evil rapscallions.
One in critical condition, and the priest, the parish priest, Father Gabriel Romanelli, was also injured. This is the line from the Latin Patriarch. The Latin Patriarchate, which is the Catholic Church in Gaza, the Latin Patriarchate strongly condemns this tragedy and this targeting of innocent civilians and of a sacred place. So Israel came out later on after international outcry, including from the White House. Israel came out and said, oh, it was a mistake. It was an accident.
Well, then I guess it's fine. When you guys kill a bunch of civilians and bomb Christian churches and Christians get pissed, they got to get over it. It was an accident. Whoops. Oh, okay.
Was it an accident? I don't see any evidence that it was an accident. Can you provide me some proof that it was an accident?
Well, Israel's proof is always trust me, bro.
You struck the church. Churches are pretty obvious targets. They're pretty obvious sites. There's certain features, the cross, steeple, pretty obvious. Can you...
That's true. I mean, a church just looks like a fucking church no matter where you are. I mean, there's only 2 things that look like a Christian church. Steeple with a cross and abandoned movie theater. Those are churches now. The big non-denominational churches, like movie theaters that used to have like 20 screens or 30 screens, and they don't anymore because movies just, they're not that big of a deal. They rent out that space to these mega churches, and now they take them over. So really, if you bomb an old movie theater or something with a steeple and cross, you fucking up a church.
Explain to me how this was an accident. Haven't heard that. The Latin Patriarch seems to think it was intentional. The targeting of innocent civilians, not just a stray bullet, the targeting.
Really?
And he goes on, he says, however, this tragedy is not greater or more terrible than the many others that have befallen Gaza. Many other innocent civilians have also been harmed, displaced, and killed. Death, suffering, and destruction are everywhere. This horrific war must come to a complete end so that we may commence the long work of restoring human dignity. Diane Montagna.
Pope Comiskey Park, Pope White Sox, he criticized it too. He was not happy that Israel bombed the Catholic Church. And again, I learned from this clip from Michael Knowles that that Catholics in Gaza are Hamas fans, believe it or not. Someone says their intel is so good. Their intel is so good that they know. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm sorry. I was reading it wrong. Their intel is so good that they know all these things, but somehow get attacked by fucking hang gliders. That's what I mean. Like, the messaging is always so mixed. It's, whatever works for them at the time.
Who's a great reporter on the Vatican.
If only there was like a large world superpower who could hold smaller countries accountable when they do shit like that.
Rome and the Pope, says His Holiness renews his call for an immediate ceasefire. So this is talking about Pope Leo. He expresses his profound hope for dialogue, reconciliation, and enduring peace in the region. And then the Pillar, which is a Catholic outlet, says sources close to the Patriarchate's chancery told the Pillar Thursday that some officials believe the strike could have been a deliberate act of retaliation after Christian leaders recently condemned Israeli settler attacks on a West Bank Christian town.
Imagine if that's true. And it's offensive to me. Tucker Carlson was talking about this on Friday. Last thing I watched before I went media news dark for the weekend and hung out with my friends and fans was Tucker Carlson had an interview with Anna Kasparian. It was really, really good. And one thing Tucker Carlson said, he goes, as a Christian, he goes, it offends me that Israel does the things they do to Christians, and he goes, it's not okay. And I, as a Christian, I don't want my tax dollars, I don't want my government giving my tax dollars to people who are killing Christians and who are bombing churches. And I was like, fucking ain't right. That's a great point. I mean, we have the Pope's people in Rome that have the opinion that Israel is deliberately attacking churches, deliberately bombing churches, because Christians had the audacity to speak up for the IDF killing Christians in Gaza. And, okay, why do we have to sell them? Why do we have to give them the weapons that they bomb Christian churches with? Again, Israel's a sovereign country. They can do what they want, but why do we have to get cocked and our faces rubbed in it by our tax dollars going to them and, our weapons, American weapons being used to kill Christians? It's fucking insane.
Now, I want you to put a bar. First of all, we pray for the dead and for this Christian community, but put a bar there for a second. There's another story coming out, which is that Mike Huckabee, as strong a supporter as the state of Israel as there is, U.S. ambassador to the state of Israel, according to the Times of Israel, Mike Huckabee is threatening to declare Israel not welcoming to Christians as a visa fight blows open. Penned a scathing letter to the Interior Minister accusing Israel of blocking Christian groups from entering Israel and threatening reciprocal steps against Israeli visa seekers.
Okay, cut them off. Cut them off. How many things need to happen? Okay, does it kind of make sense now? This makes me feel insane. So, does it make sense now that these Muslim countries hate our guts and want to kill our civilians and want to kill our people and say death to America? Because they can't pull this shit without us looking the other way. We are the only country in the world who can make Israel stop, and we don't. We enable it. So yeah, when Iran says death to Israel, death to America, it's shit like this. 60,000 Muslims getting fucking slaughtered in Gaza and us continuing to provide the ammunition that kills those people. And then our people, Christians, are being murdered by the Israelis, sometimes for petty vengeance, shitty reasons, intentionally, and we keep cutting them checks. Yeah, I understand why people hate America. Fuck, I hate that part of America. So it's just it's so frustrating to watch people treat this shit like it's black and white, good guys, bad guys, black hats, white hats. No. I mean, this is the shades of gray, perspectives. The perspective in the Muslim world is the Israelis are slaughtering Muslims and the United States is throwing money and bombs at them to make it happen. So yeah, they hate us both. We could save ourselves a lot of headaches if we would. We were all so excited when they killed USAID. And we say, it's great. Well, let's end the foreign aid to Israel too, and then we can be an honest peace broker. We can work on peace deals with all these other countries, offer them trade incentives, economic incentives to be at peace with their neighbors, and we can hold Israel accountable for the shit they do. But until that day happens and we do become an honest broker, we're going to be looked at as the dog owner that constantly lets its pit bull off the leash and the pit bull goes and eats babies.
As I've mentioned before, everyone seems to hate the state of Israel these days, mostly coming from the left, but some people on the right have joined. And I've been broadly supportive of the state of Israel, not really as an ideological matter, but as a matter of prudence. And you're losing me. You're losing me. When you strike churches, the only church in Gaza, even if accidentally, but especially if not accidentally, you're losing me.
Right.
If you're,
I hope that more Christians have a set of balls like Tucker and like Michael Knowles. And by the way, we'll look this up after, but I don't know of any Ben Shapiro response to this Michael Knowles thing. I do know this. Ben does not take kindly to people shitting on Israel, and it's his platform, so I can't imagine Michael Knowles is going to be looked upon fondly for talking this way for too much longer.
losing Mike Huckabee, the Israeli government is really screwing up, is really not playing its cards right. If Trump, I think the press secretary yesterday said Trump was furious, Trump was angry, and not the exact word, but he was quite dismayed to hear about this attack on the church.
Do something about it.
I agree with the Holy Father. I agree with the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, and I agree especially with the Holy Father on most matters. The war needs to come to an end. There need to be political consequences for this action, and the war needs to come to an end. How long is the war going to go on?
As long as we keep paying for it, as long as you and I get our tax dollars stolen from us to give them to them. People are waking up to this shit too. The only problem is they wake up to it, and the people they then go and watch are people who are like way on the other side, because my thing is Israel. But a lot of these people you go and talk to, the only people who will actually criticize Israel, unfortunately, their thing is all the Jews. And it's hard because then you get kind of lumped in with those people. But it's like, I got to speak the truth. I got to criticize people who are murdering children. And if that means that I get lumped in with people that I don't agree with, I guess them's the breaks. But I can't forgive, and I can't look past bombing churches intentionally, bombing children, 60,000 dead civilians in less than 2 years. Like, that's something that needs to be discussed. And no, you're not anti-Semitic if you think that it's evil to bomb churches intentionally and kill 60,000 civilians.
I know what the answer is. The answer is, well, until the hostages come home. Okay, well, how about we redouble our efforts to get the hostages home, if that's the impediment to peace? Because it seems like
they want the Palestinians, they want the Muslims out of Gaza, they want them out of the West Bank, they want to cleanse the area, and they want to claim it for themselves. That's what the Likud party wants in Israel.
There have been a lot of side quests and side missions going in, the Iran nuclear facilities, maybe potentially regime change in Iran, occupying southern Syria. It seems like there have been a lot of distractions. The war has been going on for almost 2 years. When's it going to end? Just what's the end of it? Can anyone tell me that? When the hostages are released? Well, then focus on getting the hostages released.
Right.
Well, no, when Hamas is totally destroyed. Okay, well, when's that going to be? When Iran is no longer funding terrorism. When's that going to be?
Well, and also, I mean, Iran only funds terrorism because you invaded southern Lebanon, and that's how Iran created Hezbollah as a defense force. So there's that. It's just, I wish that Israel would just tell the truth. I wish Israel would just come out. And to Netanyahu's credit, he gets close to this sometimes. I wish the Israelis would just come out and say, we want this land. We want to get rid of these people. We want to conquer. We want to, all of that. And we don't really give a shit what other people think. And every time we give you some bullshit answer, we're just trying to placate you so you'll get off our back so we can go back to doing what we want to do. Like, if a bad guy is going to be a bad guy, be honest about being a bad guy, and it'll help the rest of us a little bit. And then for the United States, you got to stop giving money to people who are just killing Christians on purpose. I mean, killing men, women, and children on purpose. But like, dude, it's, Say what you want about NPR and PBS. Do I think they should have been getting taxpayer dollars? No, but I'd rather fucking Big Bird get my money than Israel. That was racist of me to pick the Muppet with the biggest nose. Well, that would be Gonzo, technically. But I'll take $8 billion a year to NPR before $8 billion a year to Israel. Right? It's just it's one of those things though where we've watched this movie play out enough where we're pretty sure nothing's going to happen. All right, it is 8:30. Tell you what, why don't you also 5, that's 22, 21. We're 21 gifted memberships away from 300 on Rumble. We're 135 away from today's goal. Do me a favor, please, and thank you. Get us down to 100 by the top of the hour, and let's hone in on another win for the toe. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything since. What do you call it? Michael Knowles said this. Like, I haven't seen Ben Shapiro respond. I love this Seriously I'm Not Gino guy on Twitter. He's been clipping the show lately, and these have been very funny. He writes, "This changes everything." I got to see this. I will say again, Keanu never went poo on the kitchen counter. See? I'm on record saying that Keanu never went poo on the kitchen table. Then there was this one. So I was really hungover yesterday. And Keanu and Gino thought this was the funniest fucking thing in the world. This is how I basically summed up my inability to keep up with them drinking wise. Those two can go, man. Look at how bloated, just a chubby faced asshole can go. And I can't. I typically can't, but I did. And when you can't go, and you go, follow along. You go, and you're gone. See, when you can't go and you go, then you go and you're gone. If that doesn't make sense to you, if you can't pick up what I'm putting down on that, hey man, I don't know what to tell you. Sam Show says, I like how Trump annihilated all our domestic programs just to end up bombing Durkas in the Middle East. Yeah, new boss. Same as the old boss. I mean, this so far, this has been an administration that has just been one instance of letting us down after another instance of letting us down. There was another rumor. So Keanu pooped on my countertops. That never happened. Gino left poop in the bed. That never happened. Then there was a rumor that Gino and I are just going around grabbing women and making out with women at the anniversary show. Never happened. I was hammered and I was saying I was making terrible fucking perverted jokes on stage. They were fucking really bad, like embarrassing. I didn't remember them. And then someone quoted them to me like, oh, that's bad. But yeah, there were people like, oh yeah, Gino was like sniffing assholes or something. And I was doing X, Y, and Z. It's like, what? No, of course not. So it's just like, it all just takes on a mind of its own. And that was like during the radio days, it was like that too. Adrian and I would do these comedy shows. And then the day after the comedy show, there would be all these people. Oh, this happened, that happened. And Adrian and I are like, was I at a different show? Honest to God. Because in fairness, I did miss all the Crunchy stuff. I thought Crunchy was just kind of a little shit-faced and making a little bit of trouble. I didn't realize that, she had people in an uproar rising up against her. Then there was Cheese, and I have to say, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was out running around and, being a social butterfly and playing bags and drinking and doing this and doing that. I thought Cheese was incredibly well behaved. I thought Cheese was fun. The few interactions I did have with Cheese, he seemed awesome. So I don't know. Doggo Doesn't Die says, I appreciate you conjugating the word go. Thank you for the $1, buddy. Yes. M says, no, sir, no one accused you of any such thing, Aaron. No one badmouthed you. It was Gino doing it. Well, Gino didn't do anything either. Gino didn't do anything. Somebody with $1 says, Aaron, if he grows his hair out and stops wearing glasses. All right, let's check it out. That no. That is not me. If I stop wearing glasses, that's actually kind of close. That actually doesn't look too. That's actually that's bothersome. That's bothersome. That's not. Is that the guy from Is that the son from Wedding Crashers who paints? Or is that somebody else? Yeah. No, that's actually way better than it should be. That upsets me. Really bad. Really bad. Even has the double chin, spot on, accurate, ha. All right. Throw your money in. $135 away. We're hitting the goal today. Tilt says economy is humming. Illegals being deported. Pedophile rings getting busted up. Well, easy on that one, Tilt. I know of one pedophile ring that's being completely exonerated. Trans agenda being taught in schools is being stopped. Great to be an American today. Okay, then get rid of the fucking funding for Israel. Let's do that. Get rid of that one. And then release the Epstein stuff. Then I can get back on board with it a little bit. Doggo Doesn't Die says Cheese was okay until the end. Then he wanted to be a dick, or at least he was to me. Again, I thought Cheetos did again, or at Cheetos. I think Cheese was good as far as I knew. Chevy fan with $1 says, who was the woman that stood up and told Gino he wasn't funny? She deserves a Medal of Honor. I think, well, that was Crunchy, wasn't it? No. The person who was yelling, you're not funny, was yelling it at Crunchy, I believe. Not at Gino, my friend. 1:30 away from today's goal. Keep going, guys. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Can you get us to 100 by 9 o'clock? That's my question for today. Sure would appreciate it. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. All the links are in the chat. People are saying that guy's your brother. Oh, Jesus Christ. It was spot on enough that it upset me. There. Sam Show says Trump's going to give the workers amnesty. I agree. I think he's going to give a lot of the illegal workers amnesty because he realizes that a lot of these industries would have to take one step backwards before they take 2 steps forwards. And it would cost them a lot more to hire American labor because Americans don't typically want to do those jobs. So I think he is going to do the amnesty for some illegals, in my opinion. $130 away from today's goal. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Do it up, guys. I appreciate it, and I would adore getting to $100 by 9 o'clock. Let's load up on those big Streamlabs, PayPals, Venmos, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Again, 20 some odd, 21 or 22 gifted memberships away from 300 on Rumble. Thanks again. So remember that video we watched yesterday of that woman getting knocked out by a bunch of guys in Cincinnati? Remember that a bunch of black guys started beating up that white guy. A woman gets in there and they knock her out cold. I mean, scary. I mean, a really scary video if you haven't seen it. what really sucks about it is that it happened on Friday night, and it really didn't start hitting social media until Saturday, Sunday, and then it started going around. And it wasn't until yesterday that the police finally decided to comment on it. If you want any evidence that the media and the police try to cover certain things up, if it kind of makes them look bad from a racial or PR perspective, this thing in Cincinnati stinks to high heaven, because that woman could have been killed. That's the kind of, punching someone in public that ends with them hitting their head and dying. And then the other guy's just getting his fucking head stomped on as he's on the ground. I mean, everybody involved needs to be locked up. I mean, clearly, they're a danger to, society in general. They're just picking out random people, beating the shit out of them. But the cops didn't say a word about it, didn't ask for the public for their help until yesterday. This story's coming out yesterday. And it's because it went viral on the internet. If it wouldn't have gone viral on the internet, the cops wouldn't have given a shit. It would have been on the back burner. And these two people who were victimized and probably traumatized, no justice, no shot. Not that they'll get justice now. I don't think they will, just because nobody's going to cooperate. Nobody's going to say what they saw unless they can watch the video and pick out faces or put them through facial recognition. I still don't think they're going to get a result. But the fact that they waited a whole weekend in order to even say, and they said yesterday they're launching an investigation. Not like they've been doing an investigation and they're going to pick it up. They didn't decide to start an investigation till yesterday. Fucking brutal, man. Here's the video.
Say they're investigating a video circulating on social media that appears to show a violent group fight. It allegedly happened Friday night at Elm and 4th Streets downtown. Our Alexis Martin has been speaking with city leaders to learn more about what happened. Alexis?
The local leaders that I spoke with say that the video is scary for many reasons and extremely hard to watch. They say it's unbelievable that this could happen, and no bystanders called 911 while the fight was happening.
Well, they didn't see shit and they don't snitch, which is such a dumb fucking philosophy. You understand that, the don't snitch thing is just what criminals use to keep decent people quiet so that they don't go to jail. That criminal will rat you the fuck out the minute he's facing a prison sentence, 20 years. He'll rat on anybody to get that number down. There is no honor among thieves. They tell you shit like don't snitch so you don't snitch on them, not because they're not going to snitch on you someday.
The video is not only vicious, but it's horrifying.
It was appalling to see what was going on.
Right now, you're seeing short clips of videos circulating social media showing a fight on Friday night at Elm and 4th.
That sneaking up behind someone and punching them around the head is such a chicken shit move. And then not only that, then for 3 or 4 other guys to jump in and start stomping on the guy when he's down, just cowardly behavior.
4th Streets downtown. Because of copyright rules, we cannot show you the full video.
Oh, fucking bullshit. Bullshit. You don't want to show it for a very specific reason. God damn it, just quit lying. I don't mind if you tell us uncomfortable truths. We don't like the subtext behind showing a bunch of black guys beating up white people because we're afraid here on the news that white people will get really angry and they'll start forming opinions about black people based on these 4 or 5 black people. That's fine to say that. Just say it then. Just say we don't want to show this because it's black people jumping a white person and we don't want the public to get the wrong idea. Now, do a lot of people find that cowardly and chicken shit? 100%, because it is. But at least say it. Copyright reasons. Fuck you with copyright reasons. The reason you're not playing it is because it looks like a racial hate crime and not in the direction you like to tell people it's going.
But you can see a large group of people surrounding a man continuously punching another man while a group of people watched, sometimes joining in.
The people that just stood around and videotaped it and watched instead of trying to do something about it, whether it was call 911, whether it was try to defuse the situation, you'll render aid.
Yesterday, a witness who wanted to remain anonymous says she saw the altercation from start to finish, and there was more to the fight than what was captured on video.
Yeah?
We reached out to police today for additional information about what happened and have not heard back. But on Saturday, CPD Chief Teresa Thigi did send out a statement calling the behavior cruel and absolutely unacceptable, but has not released any more details on the fight.
That's because you guys were going to sweep this under the rug. You were going to let it go until it went viral online, and now you're going to try to do something about it. But all trying to do something about it is going to do is expose the other problems of people being non-cooperative and thus victims not being able to get any kind of justice.
FOP President Ken Kober says investigators have identified people in the video and are working to identify more.
That's why people are afraid to go downtown, because it seems like every weekend something like this is happening. It's just a terrible look for the city.
Ohio State Representative Cecil Thomas says this situation could have ended quickly if people used their phones to call police instead of taking videos.
If you want to live in a safe community, a safe environment, it has to be a collaboration between the police and the community.
Seth Walsh.
Yeah, I mean, if the people who can arrest the guys who did this and put them in jail and get them away from you and your family, if you don't help them do that, it ain't going to get done. And then you don't get to look to the cops and go, why aren't the streets safer? Has anything you've done made it better? No. All right, hold on. Let's go with a little bit more of this. I want to hear more of the excuses.
A city of Cincinnati council member says this was one of the hardest videos he's had to watch in a long time.
I've been watching a video like this. If it makes anybody question if they want to come downtown, then we are failing as a city. And I can't say that in strong enough terms.
There's a lot of downtowns where people feel that way. A lot of downtowns. Interest is up and the stock market's down. You only get mugged when you go downtown.
Cincinnati police say the fight was not connected to the Cincinnati Music Festival happening just a few blocks away.
Really?
But Walsh says the video goes against everything this weekend is supposed to be about.
We should be having fun as a city. We should be talking about how great the weekend was. This shouldn't be the headline. The fact that it is means we need to do more.
Kober says if you recognize anyone in the video, you should contact Cincinnati police or Crime Stoppers. Those numbers are on fox19.com.
Yeah, don't hold your breath. I'm guessing you're probably not going to get a lot of phone calls, at least from people that were standing around in the area. Luke Bryan got hit in the face by an object while he was singing this weekend. Uh-oh. The mayor of Cincinnati did speak out, and he said arrests are forthcoming. I mean, again, I'll believe it when I see it, I suppose. Give me tips says I heard they have arrested 5 people so far. Okay, all right, then. Fair enough. You need me more with $1 says Sam Show is on fire today. Hilarious. Sam Show is often on fire. Sam Show is often on fire. He does. The kid does a decent job. Hey, boys and girls, do me a favor. 1:30 away from today. Go ahead and throw a couple bucks at the old toe. I'm a little rusty at this whole begging thing. I haven't had to do it since Thursday or so. So go ahead and throw a couple of bucks our way. I'd love to be at 100 by 9 o'clock. That would be super cool. 1:30 away from today. Please and thank you. Let's see if we can make a strong comeback here on the toe. And thank you. We peaked out in the 800s today for a show that was 1 hour, not late. I said I was going on at 7 because I had to drop them off at the airport. But for a show that didn't start at its traditional time, you guys have been really, really great. I appreciate it. Keep it up. You're the absolute best. Where's our... Okay, we did this. We got the Cincinnati one. Oh yeah, the Luke Bryan thing. I need to see Luke Bryan getting hit by something. What a dickhead move this would be. Oh! Wow, what a pro. Oh! He went right. You know, this is why Luke Bryan got like the pretty boy paydays in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Because he's that guy. Like the reason the David Allen Coes back in the day, they didn't get the big money is because if that happens, he pulls out a pistol and fucking shoots at that guy. Or he jumps in the crowd and beats the shit out of him. Luke Bryan made the big bucks because when some asshole throws a beer can at his head, he just composes himself and sings the next line of the song. Now, does that mean that you kind of have to be a bitch? Yeah, a little. You kind of got to be a little bit of a bitch. But also, if you're a multi-millionaire country singer and you go down and start punching someone in the face, oh, that guy's going to have lawyers lining up from here to Timbuktu to represent him.
Back a woman from Massachusetts.
Oh, that was it. It was just an 8-second clip. I mean, again, I'll say that I know it can be looked at by others as kind of a bitch move, but good for him for maintaining his composure and not going in there. As much as I would have loved to see him go in there and just start beating the shit out of people, he didn't do it. They need to be charged with attempted murder. Oh, I think you mean the people in the Cincinnati thing. Okay, the Cincinnati. But like, you throw a full beer can at someone, that can cause a variety of damage as well. I mean, that's it's a fucking heavy, concentrated object. I hope that Luke Bryan, as nice of a guy as he seems to be, I hope he has really angry, ornery, crabby, dickhead security that took care of that one for him. Hey, thank you very much to Nicholas, my golfing buddy, with $10 over on PayPal. Thank you, bud. Appreciate that very much. That puts us $120 away from today's goal. That would mean if somebody wants to drop a few memberships on Rumble, or if you guys want to drop this thing by another $20 rally in the next 5 minutes, I have my wish, and we're at $100. Please and thank you. Again, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Thank you. We haven't had a goal in a long time, and I'm hoping that today we get right back into the swing of it. Thanks again. Potato Head Case says, who just throws a $15 beer? Stupid drunk asshole at a country show. And they like to pay big money. I can't imagine that a Luke Bryan ticket is cheap, right? To buy a ticket to his show only to then take an expensive beer and throw it at his head. Like, now how much money have you wasted? Hundreds on the ticket, $10-15 on the beer at least, and you just chuck it. I mean, it's a self-sabotaging, retarded move, and you're probably going to get the shit kicked out of you by security on your way out. So this is nothing but an L, no matter which way you slice it. Oh, Chips and Diff says, rumor has it that Crunchy was the one who threw the beer. You know what? That makes a whole lot of sense, because now if you got Crunchy throwing the beer, then that would, because she's tall. So she's tall, she can get over everybody and chuck that beer. You know, I'm not saying she's guilty because I didn't see her throw it, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Dead Game says, the dipshit that had to buy a ticket to a Luke Bryan show. What a faggot. I like some of Luke Bryan's music. Landers says Luke Bryan's security would probably just blow you. I would like to think that because Luke Bryan is so nice and passive, that his security would be shitty. But again, what do I know? 120 away from calling it a win for the toe today. Thank you guys very much. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. 21 gifted memberships away on Rumble from 300. Thank you, guys. All right, we got a little detail on this Manhattan shooting from yesterday. Let's get a little news update on this.
The deadly shooting in New York City. Officials say a gunman killed 4 people inside a high-rise office building, including an off-duty police officer. There was a massive police response. This all happened just a short walk from well-known landmarks like St. Patrick's Cathedral. Some of those inside the building came out with their hands in the air. Others barricaded themselves in offices.
Shit.
The suspect is identified as a 27-year-old man from Las Vegas. There is no word yet on a motive.
I did see a link somebody sent me regarding the NFL, like he had a problem with football. Some people are theorizing CTE, but there's a lot of that fog of war shit going on too. Like after stuff like this happens, there's a lot of things that come out that turn out not to be true. But I'll go to that link in just a little bit that somebody sent me about how possibly this guy could have been frustrated with the National Football League.
Police say he had documented mental health issues, but we are learning more details about the New York police officer who was killed. He's 36-year-old Didarul Islam, and he was on the force for nearly 4 years. He leaves behind 2 young kids and a wife pregnant with their 3rd child.
Yeah, that's fucking tragic, that part right there. I mean, a cop with 2 kids and another one on the way. And then I don't think they said it in this one, but I thought he got a Blackstone executive. Yeah, that's it. That's all they've got. Blackstone exec, Manhattan. Blackstone Inc. has confirmed that top executive Wesley Lepatner was among those killed in the Manhattan headquarters shooting. Lepatner led Blackstone's Core Plus Real Estate and served as CEO of its Real Estate Income Trust, a rising star in the industry. All right. Well, let me, I think somebody messaged it to me on Facebook about this guy possibly having some kind of beef with professional football. Here we go. This is NYC gunman. NYC gunman appeared to have a grievance. Oh, shit. All right. Yes, I'll allow ads. There you go.
At least 4 people are dead, including an NYPD officer, after a gunman opened fire inside a Manhattan office building yesterday.
Alexis McAdams joins us live now from the scene of New York City's deadliest shooting in 25 years. Alexis.
Well, for some reason, this doesn't want me to be able to pause ads. So he had a problem with the NFL.
At least 4 people
but he
are
went
dead,
to the wrong
including
place.
an NYPD officer, after a gunman opened fire inside a Manhattan office building yesterday.
Well,
Alexis
shoot.
McAdams.
It's not letting me go to it. It's blocking me out because I have my ad blocker on. Yeah, it might just be a lunatic. It might just be a fucking crazy guy who just went in somewhere and killed somebody. I know that we all would like to put our own biases around it. Like, you know, he was doing a Luigi Mangione with these real estate companies that have been, you know, acquiring houses for foreign nationals instead of for Americans, jacking up the price of housing costs. Yeah, I'm sure people would like that to be the case. And then also like the NFL thing. Did he have CTE or whatever? Sounds like he also could have just been a kook who wanted to hurt a bunch of people. Pablo Pacheco says, well, Blackstone, man, he was taking people's homes. So it was a woman. It was a female executive. Papa Shab says, deadliest shooting in 25 years. Jesus. Sam Show says, they're like, how can we make this more illegal? But he just walked right in, rifle on display, and started shooting. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, congratulations, New York gun laws. You really did a lot to prevent this. Like, this guy broke every fucking rule in the book, still brought the guns, still killed people. Switchblade Proper says, yeah, just randomly drove from Nevada. Well, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, if he came from Las Vegas, he had a mission. I don't think you just, skip your meds one day and then just go for a drive literally across the country. You'd have to be mentally ill, which he was, but you gotta have a score to settle. Papa Shab says, did you see his eyes? He's always aiming. Jesus. St. Caesar says, Aaron, you need to look into the UK Online Safety Act. It's in effect no, and could be coming to the USA soon. Interesting. The UK Online Safety Act. Text coming in from Ryan the Garbage Man says, news reports say the shooter used an M4 rifle. That's a military weapon. Doggo Doesn't Die says, I stipped my meds and ended at the Steel Toe Anniversary show halfway across the country. Well, sometimes it leads to good things. $120 away from today's goal. Guys, please and thank you. We did not get to $100 by 9 o'clock. That bums me out a bit. But do me a favor and help us knock out that goal. It would be great to come back from anniversary weekend. Come back from leaving the house at 3:15 to drive to the airport. Come back and do a show. And it would all be worth it if we knock out that last 120 and call it another win for the toe. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. If you like what we're doing, the effort we're putting forward, go ahead and throw 5 or 10 at us. A gifted membership is great. Those Venmos, PayPals, and Streamlabs work awesome too. Well, it's the Colbert cancellation still has its ripple effects through the rest of late night. All the late night guys are nervous now. And, Gino pointed something out to me. We were sitting on the porch yesterday morning, and Gino was saying, he's like, there's people theorizing that, this Colbert firing came shortly after USAID was canceled, was defunded. And that they were thinking maybe as like a psyop or as a propaganda thing, that maybe these late night hosts were being funded through USAID. Why wait until now to cancel Colbert when Colbert was losing, by all reports, anywhere from $30 to $40 million a year for the company for the last couple of years? Why would you keep him around? And why would you keep him until next March or next May, whenever it is? Perhaps because maybe they're paid up from USAID. I mean, Colbert was the guy dancing with fucking vaccine needles. It would make sense that USAID, which is supposed to be used for aid money to propagandize and kind of pump up America's image and reinforce American interests. It's a long shot, but it would make sense if they came out today and said, yeah, we had to cancel Colbert because he was getting USAID money. I would have no problem believing it. And now you got Seth Meyers. You've got, who are the other ones? Kimmel, Fallon. Gutfeld's over on Fox News. They're doing great. I don't think he has to worry. But I think all these other guys got to worry, man. And even Seth Meyers is saying that he's anxious about it. And really, I kind of forgot Seth Meyers was even around. He has the show that's on right after Jimmy Fallon. He's on after The Tonight Show. The 51-year-old talk show host said his mental health will plummet if his NBC show will get the boot, much like the recent cancellation of Stephen Colbert's The Late Show. Can we ever just kind of sometimes when we're celebrities keep that shit to ourselves? That's weird because it seems like he's almost front begging to keep his job. He's like, guys, my mental health will be so bad if you take away my show. It'll hurt so much if my show goes away. My mental health will suffer. Knowing that mental health is kind of a buzzword now and people kind of back off when they hear it. It does seem like kind of, maybe he's being candid. It's possible, but it also could be that he's pulling some bullshit. A little bit. I'll say this. I don't know how Seth Meyers' show is making money unless he just doesn't make very much to do it, because I never hear his name. I never hear about anyone who's a big Seth Meyers fan or who watches his show or even consumes his social media stuff. Speaking on the Armchair Expert podcast, the SNL alum told host Dax Shepard that he's concerned about the fate of his own show. He says, only because it was such a time we're living in as far as the entertainment industry. There is this weird thing where I feel like I shifted from fearing that I would be good enough, and now my fear is weirdly more outside my control, which is just at some point the ecosystem might not support it. I guess that's better than thinking it's your fault, but it is weird to not feel any control over it. Well, I think these companies, they tried the propaganda thing. And the propaganda was really important to them. But then all of a sudden, the balance sheets got so far out of whack that they went, oh, fuck, we can't keep paying this guy $15, $20 million a year to keep losing us this much money. We like that he dances with the needles. We like that he hates Trump to an irrational degree. We like that he kind of parrots anything we tell him to say. But we can't keep spending all of this money just to, have this brainwashing. At some point, the brainwashing has to turn a profit. Now, Late Night with Seth Meyers premiered in February of 2014. and the host has fronted almost 1,700 episodes. He says, I would worry about myself, like mental health-wise, but I put a lot of thought into diversifying my skill set. I mean, you're a 51-year-old man who's been in the entertainment industry his entire adult life. You'll land on your feet. You'll find something. Same with Colbert. Like, even if Colbert does a podcast or something, he'll have enough people that'll listen to it that he'll be okay. And also, what the fuck have you been doing these last 10 years if you've been making $7, $8, $9, $10 million a year and you're worried about what you might do next? You should have enough money that you could live off the interest and you don't have to touch the principal. But I guess a lot of these guys just never think it's going to end. Is there a good, like, I don't know. I've never, like, because I know of Colbert clips, like the Jon Stewart thing and the vaccine needles. I know that Jimmy Fallon does a lot of the dumb kiddie sleepover games with celebrities. Kimmel does the Halloween candy bit, but like, I don't know anything that Seth Meyers does. I don't know any like signature bit from Seth Meyers. Thank you very much to somebody gifted a membership, and by God, I'm going to find it here somewhere. It's there we go. Doggo Doesn't Die gifting a membership. Now there's 20 memberships away from being at 300 on Rumble. Thank you guys very much. 115 away from the goal. Jeff Jordan got that membership. Remember, if you have a membership to our Rumble, means you don't have to watch ads, which is great. Go ahead and hit like. If you got a membership, spread it around. Gift one to somebody else. 115 away from today's goal. And as I said before, I would just be tickled if you guys would knock out that goal today. Maybe chip away at it. You know, get down to that 100 mark in the next 20, 30 minutes. I appreciate you. Whatever you can do. This show runs mostly on your contributions, and I do appreciate it. Coltrane says Jay Leno came out and told these late night idiots that alienating half the country is dumb and focusing on one side is why stuff gets shut down. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to build your whole audience on, I hate Trump and I'm a liberal, now you've cut out at least 50% of the country, and now you have to count on that whole 50%, supporting you. And the problem is a lot of those 50%, just like that you were shitting on Trump, they're not going to sit and watch you every night. They're not going to buy shit from your sponsors. They're just going to go, yeah, good job shit talking Trump. All right, see you later, bye. Whereas if you just do a good show and you don't alienate people with political views, you can cast a little bit wider net. You won't be so dependent on unreliable people. 09 Canyon says maybe he's worried about working. Like you said before, don't retire or you die. In entertainment, that's true. Keep working or they forget about you. That's a good point too. Yeah, the work kind of gives you purpose, I would suppose. And like I said, I guess Seth Meyers has been working in entertainment his entire adult life. I mean, to not have that it'd be fucked up. It'd be weird for him, I'm sure. All right, let's continue on while you guys throw in a few bucks and help us knock out today's goal. Gino told me about this last night too. Ryne Sandberg died. Ryne Sandberg was one of like the first really good like textbook hitters that I knew of as a kid. Like Tony Gwynn, Ryne Sandberg. Those were the two guys where I was like, oh yeah, I don't know, I'm a really little kid, but I know that those two guys are really good hitters. I think he's a Hall of Famer. Sandberg. Yeah, MLB Hall of Famer. NL MVP, 10-time All-Star. Ryne Sandberg passed away. It made me feel old because Gino was like, oh, Ryne Sandberg died. And I'm like, man, well, wasn't he only like 50-something? And Gino goes, what the fuck? No. He said, no, he's 65 when he died. But one of the best, man. He was really, really good. Again, one of the first baseball players that wasn't a twin that I remember, Ryne Sandberg. MSO says your hair is alienating my goldfish. Here, how's that? I'm doing my best. MSO says I have his autographed rookie card. Yeah, Atomic Ray says Ryne Sandberg died. Oh hell, time to pull up those rookie cards. I mean, maybe. Take a look. Might be a run on them today. You might be right. 115 away from today's goal. Help us beat it. Help us win. I'd appreciate it. $115. If we get $15 in the next 20 minutes, I'm a happy guy. And then we can start moving on that hundo in the last hour of the show. Speaking of baseball, there was an incident in Philadelphia Sunday. I keep forgetting what day it is. I keep thinking today's Monday. There was an incident that happened in Philadelphia at a Phillies game that now, it happened in Yankee Stadium. It was Phillies fans. That's now creating merchandise. And the merchandise, the shirt I saw was, they used the Phillies logo for both words, but it says, "I was fingered at a Phillies game." A couple engaged in what do they say? They call it a sex act. They were engaged in sexual acts while watching the game, and not like hiding in a corner somewhere, not like, trying to be discreet and then people found them. They're just sitting in their seat, whacking each other off, fingering each other's twats, just getting after it. 2 fans in attendance at Yankee Stadium were recorded by fellow fans. Here's the pictures. It's those 2. And we don't. Is that all the New York Post has? Because I got more. There's more where that came from. Given the timing of the video release, which initially came on TikTok, so did they, and that the male fan was wearing a Phillies hat and jersey, it is suspected that it came from one of 3 showdowns this weekend. The video was recorded from behind, just the way they like it, with a row between the filmer and the couple. While no other fans were immediately within a few seats of the couple, the alleged act was in broad daylight with numerous fans in the surrounding area. The video is, here we go, we have it, has since amassed 40 million views on X. This is nice to see. Yankee Stadium is still a great place to bring the family. All right. Come on.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person.
Oh, that ad is on the TikTok thing? That's fucking weird.
That's £200 off for a
family report. He's fucking fingering her right there at the baseball game. If these guys turn around, they're just front row seat to see a chick get fingered. Wow, that's brazen. I mean, you can wait till you get home. But like, even if, you want to do it at the ball game, it's like forbidden, it's kinky, whatever. Go find a nook and cranny. I watched In Bruges yesterday. An alcove, perhaps. Go find an alcove and go finger your girlfriend there. Just fingering someone at a baseball game. It's such like a high schooler thing to do. It's been many years since I just fingered someone discreetly in a public place. I would say late high school, early college was the last place I tried to discreetly finger someone. It was at Gooseberry Falls. We were on a hiking trail. But not a fucking baseball game, for God's sake. Social distancing.
With 22 kilograms of baggage included.
And her like writhing and grinding against the seat is not helping the lack of subtlety. Jesus.
Right now, with Jet 2 holidays. Package holidays you can trust. Absolutely protected.
You're just sitting in your seat surrounded by people getting finger blasted at a baseball game in the afternoon. I mean, don't get me wrong, relaxing, not very considerate of the others. And we are fucking up too as a society that we just take out our phones and start filming the lady getting fingered. I mean, that's quite voyeuristic. It's a little beyond the pale if you ask me, but I think more people are acknowledging the sin of the sin of the fingered over the sin of the filmer. Filmer or fingerer? Who is the real bad guy in this case? Approachable says, God damn it. If you have you learned nothing from CEOs that kiss cam could pop up at any time and then it'll be real fucking awkward. Yeah, nobody was kissing. MSO says 3 up, 3 down. Chips and Diff pointing out, Aaron, he did find a nook and cranny. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. He did do what I asked. It just wasn't in the spirit in which I asked for it to. Dub says, those were the days. Eagle of America says he was the designated fingerer. He took his job very seriously. All right, Harry Balls, that's enough. That's enough. MSO says, were they at least sitting in the fingering section? Yeah, I mean, if you're doing it in the family section, that's fucking disgusting. But I'm sure Yankee Stadium has a fingering section you could do that in. MSO raises a good point. Bigot on Socialist Media says that kids are there, for fuck's sake. I don't know if I saw any of them in that section, but still, yeah. I mean, fuck, guys, pull it together. Sam Show says, hopefully she's not a squirter and shoots piss to the bottom rows. Jesus. I don't know. That fucking seat was getting it. Lab Glass says, oh, you mean the fingering wall doesn't count? Oh, how dare I forget the fingering wall. I apologize. Of course, the fingering wall. Dr. Silverwolf and thank you for that gifted membership, by the way. That puts us 110 away from today. Guys, $10 in the next 10 minutes. We can get to 100 and then start making our move. We start making our move right to a W today. Ryan the Garbage Man says, it'd be funny if someone says, do you smell fish? Well, Dr. Silverwolf with $2 says, imagine the smell. Hot, sweaty Philly trash. Philly girls might smell unclean. More so than the average girl. I cannot argue with you there. I believe it. I buy it. I'm buying what you're selling. Concrete PD says you can't understand fingering because you use your thumb. This is not true. How dare you? Not true. Sam V with $1.99 says your hair is hungover from being combed over. That was funnier than it was supposed to be. I liked it. Harry Balls says that comb over isn't working, Aaron. I didn't do my hair today. This is just out of the shower, getting back from the airport. Oh, it's kind of hitting me that my friends are gone. I took them to the airport today. I like being at the airport. I wish it were like the old days. Remember when you could go past security if you didn't have a plane ticket? Before bin Laden wrecked it. So you go hang out with your friends when they went to the airport. You maybe, have lunch with them or something like that. Not anymore. You can bring them to baggage. You can bring them to security. That's it. Then you got to go. We did curbside. I grabbed their bags, brought them out. We gave hugs. And we said goodbye. That was very, you know what? That's sad. It's very sad. All right, Papa Shab. All right, now. You guys are saying, okay, you guys are saying that it wasn't bin Laden who wrecked it. I apologize. For this audience, I misspoke as to who wrecked air travel in the United States of America. My bad. Tago Doesn't Die says, yeah, bin Laden. Let's go with that. Okay. Have it your way. 110 away from today's goal. Guys, do me a favor. Keep knocking it down. Chip away at it little by little. Here, I know something that'll help. I forgot I'm on Rumble Premium today. We got Rumble Studio, and we got about 600 some odd people, almost 700 people checking out the program on our 5 platforms. This sponsorship is from Rumble, one that is completely, incredibly important to the survival of the company. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political opinions or censor conversations on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted they fell to pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Not Rumble. They held the line. They're attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They're attacked in corporate media. They're attacked by governments like France with that Macron and his wife. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. So watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in the fight, and if you have the means, one major way you can help is doing what I do, joining Rumble Premium. I'm a Rumble Premium member. I'm in the creator program. Love Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with the promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. That's rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, we're just happy that you watch us here on Rumble. Rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. And there we go. There. We'll do that. And that'll help. Chevy Fan says, if you add Truth Social, I'm out of here. Don't worry, I'm not adding Truth Social. I promise. All right. In about 7 minutes, let's get that thing down to that pesky goal down to 100. And let's put ourselves in a position to have another win for the toe. So that thing that happened in Philly, the only other instances people have of like sex stuff going on at ball games would be 2022. A couple engaged in sex at an A's game. I guess she just was riding him in their seat, but they were at like the back of the section, which I mean doesn't make it good, but. In 2012, 2 fans at Yankee Stadium were caught having sex in a stadium bathroom during the game. Okay, at least the people trying to have sex in the stadium bathroom went somewhere private to do it. But on the other hand, that's the most disgusting, filthy, dirty, nasty thing I can think of is fucking in a Yankee Stadium bathroom. Oh, it can't be the cleanest place. Can't be. There's your some money, knock it off the goal. I did knock it off the goal. I promise you. They don't count every viewer. They only count the viewers on Rumble. So I don't get a lot for those, but it moves the needle a little bit. On Friday, it moves it a bunch. We make some decent sponsorship dough on Rumble Friday. That's for sure, my friends. So yeah, throw in a couple of bucks. I'd appreciate it. Let's get this done with. Oh, Silverwolf did 5, so that means we got to update that. Silverwolf is now at 15. So he is tied with Mudbutt Beardo. You guys' names. Silverwolf is at 15. Helgi's in 4th. Helgi's in the cuck chair at 10. And that means that Amber is going to fall out of the cuck chair. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you ask. Miss Tay is in first with $45, followed by Captain Joe with 30, followed by Mudbutt Beardo with 15, Silverwolf with 15, and then again in the cuck chair with $10. The one, the only, the incomparable Helgi, who we golfed with on Saturday. Chevy Fan says, remember the Metrodome piss trough? Yeah, fucking disgusting. That's what I'm saying. Like, you go into a bathroom at a ball game, you're asking for diseases if you're going to get naked there. All right, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, please and thank you. Let's call it another win for the show. CNN anchor Aaron Burnett flamed for saying New York's... Oh, God. People are already getting in trouble for how they're talking about the New York City shooter. was, possibly white. So she got into the race baiting game. You know, it's weird. When they think the person is white, then they'll be like, it was a white man, and you have these white men running around with guns, and it's awful, and blah, blah, blah. But then when it's not a white guy, it doesn't matter what race the person is. Really, this can happen anywhere to anyone. Like it's kind of like the Israel October 7th versus murdering 60,000 Palestinians. It's like, it only matters when it's one way versus the other. I got it. Honky gifting a membership. Thank you, Honky. Hey, guys, that means we got to $100. Finish it off, $100 away from today's goal. Big drops. We're also 19 gifted memberships away from 300 on Rumble. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Keep going, and let's get a win. All right, again, hangover day. I'm draining from the week's events. I do have to pee one more time. We got about an hour left in the show. Hammer out that $100 for me. Love you forever. I'll be right back. Thank you, guys. I'll say this. It could be a hangover thing, or it could be the fact that Gino and Keanu, they don't eat like fucking pigs. They eat. They just don't, they're not, shoving food down their throat every second of every day. But I drop weight when they're here. It could be the booze. It could all come back, today like that. But I'm down about 4 pounds. So that's, you got to take your wins any way you can get them. Oh, by the way, Tin the Toolman Taylor got that gifted membership from Honky. Thank you, buddy. So if you guys could help with that last $100, I sure would be grateful. Bapa Shab says, remember when he Googled why his piss smelled sweet after downing 50 cans of Celsius? Oh, I'm ridding my body of all of its impurities as I put sugar-free Red Bull back in. Sam Show says, is that your actual weight? Or was that just the turds and piss? Who knows? That's what I mean. Like, it's there's a possibility that perhaps it's just the hangover. But as long as the weight stays off, I'm just going to pretend that it's all good. Trampling at the Zoo says your brain is dehydrated. No shit. Well, don't worry. I got fancy pantsy, perfectly balanced pH purified water, so my pussy won't stink because the pH is good. When I stopped for my Red Bulls today, I got core water. Oh, core because of the trans. Redbird with $2 says it's the calories burned getting pegged. But I wasn't I wasn't though. I wasn't. Nobody was pegging me. I swear. Like there was no. Why don't you believe me when I tell you I wasn't pegged? $95 away from today's goal. Hit that first one of the week and let's get off to a good start. I did take what you guys, the $100 or so you guys threw at us for that short hangover show that I did yesterday. I did take that and put it towards today. So, and then Approachable wanted 20 to go, the whole sponsorship thing they tried to do. We wanted that to go to tonight's show. So we're going to do that. But guys, help me knock that last 95 out and we can call it a win for the toe. I appreciate it. So I want to hear what Erin Burnett said exactly, because they are giving her shit for the way she reported this New York City shooter thing. I think after the shooting, after the smoke is cleared and you know we're getting all the facts on the ground, I do think whether it's a white guy or a black guy or whatever, I think the description of the shooter is important, especially if they haven't caught the shooter yet. Then the description is really important, and one of those descriptions is race. However, there is this weird thing amongst some in the media where like they're almost rooting for it to be a white guy. Like they want it to be a white dude. And that's shitty, because then that also makes other people kind of go like react in the opposite direction, and they like celebrate when it's not a white guy. And both of those are kind of fucked up. Like the result is the same. A bunch of people got shot and killed. That's really shitty, controversial take, I know. But like white or black shouldn't play too much into it. But when the media plays a lot into it, and you can tell, it's hard to not notice. So then the media can't be upset where you get the equal but opposite reaction of people hoping it's not a white person. You know, how many times have you heard in the media, or have you heard a Democratic politician go, these white boys with guns, these school shooting white boys, you know, they say shit like that. Now, if someone goes in the other direction and says something about another race of people and maybe shooting or this and that, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get looked at funny. It's like, how about everybody gets looked at funny? Like, you know, why does I hate the double standard. It's awful. But let's see what Erin Burnett did. Let's see if Erin Burnett is just catching shit because she's a convenient target, or if she kind of left herself out there.
Reporting that they do know what he looks like, male, possibly white, mustache, sunglasses, in that building, isolated to, they believe, to various locations, including upper floors. Is where.
Okay, so far that's not so bad. It's an early description. She said possibly white. I mean, would you say possibly black if it was maybe black, but you hadn't confirmed yet? I feel like, I'm just saying, again, this is me doing this to Erin Burnett. This isn't how she actually, I mean, she could feel this way, she might not, but I feel like if it was possibly a black person, she wouldn't come out with that right away. It wouldn't be possibly black or possibly Arab or possibly Asian. But if it's possibly white, well, let's throw that out there and run with it.
Their focus.
Erin Burnett's facing backlash for reporting that the gunman who opened fire was possibly white. I mean, I'm sorry, but you can just look at the hair on this one and you can go, whatever that is. I don't think it came from Europe. Her assessment came after viewing the initial security footage leaked immediately after the shooting. Online critics slammed Burnett's statement for being too premature and presumptive.
CNN anchor Erin Burnett stated live on the air that the obviously not white man, quote, was possibly white. How ridiculous.
How ridiculous. You've even got black people telling you that you look ridiculous. And a woman in your position can't afford to be made to look ridiculous. I also have an announcement. I saw my bobblehead sitting here, and I thought to myself, Dr. Silverwolf finally got his bobblehead at the anniversary show. No, at the golf event. Finally got it to him. The man is square with the house again. So you've even got black people going, that's ridiculous that you would say it was a white boy. Doesn't it always warm your heart to see some black dude standing up for white people? You're like, God damn, salt of the earth, that fella.
Embarrassing to attempt to politicize this tragedy. So if they were not white, it would have made better. If they were white, it would have made better for your headlines.
Yeah, for them. Yeah. I mean, I know he's probably asking that question rhetorically, but yes. For CNN, are you fucking kidding? CNN and MSNBC, they fucking got their hands on their dicks when these shootings happen and go, white guy, white guy, white guy. Oh, black. It shrunk. White guy, raging boner. Because then they feel like they can report on the story without guilt. They're like, well, a white guy shooting up a place. I mean, we can go ham on this one. If it's a black guy, we'd have to be more sensitive, which is retarded because either one of them would be someone who just massacred other human beings. So the 44-story building housed the headquarters for Blackstone and the NFL. I don't think he drove to Las Vegas to fuck with or drove from Las Vegas to New York to fuck with the NFL. I think the Blackstone thing makes sense, especially since we just heard the news last week that, what was it, 54 or $84 billion of foreign money bought American single-family homes, jacking up the price. I mean, it's a pretty nasty business. I think the NFL part is just kind of the cover. And one of the people he killed wasn't an NFL executive. It was a Blackstone executive. Armed with a rifle, he opened fire at around 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m., people were still in the office. They got cops running around. Oh, yeah, they got their rifles out. Real shit. Then there's people coming out. Oh, God, that's got to be terrifying. Yeah. The possibly white thing, though, like Aaron Burnett catching shit for the possibly white thing. Maybe I'm too lax with this kind of stuff, but I feel like that's nitpicky. I feel like you're nitpicking a little bit if you're like, Aaron Burnett, can you believe she said he's possibly white? First of all, like I said before, it's CNN, so yes, I can. I can see CNN's, trying to push the narrative that he's white until they find out he's, anything other than white. Yeah, I totally can see them doing that. 09 Canyon says, and if he's possibly white, then he's possibly black or Asian or some mix. Were they trying to plant the seed of a white shooter? Yes, they were. Yeah, of course, that's what they were doing. Because again, the white liberal news in this country feels a lot more comfortable letting loose and cutting a promo on some white guy shooting people than a minority shooting people. That's their guilt. That's that odd racism that they have inside themselves. Hey, boys and girls, $95 away from today's goal as we go to catch up with the chat here. It's been a very fun show. I really appreciate all of the people who showed up for an hour late show because, obviously I had to do the airport and everything. The only thing that could make it even better was if we hit that goal as well. If we got that $95 in the next 50 minutes and ended up notching another win for the toe, on a shortened show. I appreciate it. Someone says possibly human. Honky with $2 says he's half black, half Asian. He's basically a Wiz Khalifa song. Thank you, Honky, for the $2. Guys, keep those 2s and 5s and 10s and if you want to gift 5 memberships on Rumble or throw a 20 at us on PayPal, Venmo, Streamlabs, whatever. I'm down with either one of those, but I think in the next 50 minutes, you guys can all work together on small contributions to get that 95 taken care of. I appreciate it. Eric Cartman says that's called a real job, being in the office at 6 p.m. New boot goofing. Hey, Eric, I do want to say I appreciate you fucking hearing me earlier today. That's impressive. Thank you, buddy. Very cool. Sam Show says Blasian dude showed up. Shot a bunch of people, shoots himself, and while the cops are running around, they arrested some random-ass Muslim for no reason. Redbird with $5 says the people's revolution can't happen in a homogenous society that's peaceful. Like I said, the media likes stirring that pot, boy. That's why they pick the worst fucking victims, Like Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown and George Floyd. Like, they pick those because they know white people will look at the story and go, well, that's fucked up. That guy was a piece of shit. I mean, this isn't as cut and dry as you make it sound. And then black people with the history of police brutality and shit like that, they know they'll dig in and march, and college-age liberal white people will just do whatever they say. And I think in reality, like, there are a lot of incidences of cops shooting a black guy and they shouldn't have, that we'd all be outraged about. Like, in my opinion, Philando Castile. Boy, once that body cam footage came out and it showed that Philando Castile was trying to tell the cop he had a concealed weapons permit and he had a firearm on him, and then the cop fired shots into the back seat where his fucking child was in a car seat. A lot of people started going, well, I'm with Philando Castile. Even me, I ended my NRA membership after the Philando Castile thing because he was a member and they didn't back him or help him at all from a public relations standpoint. So, like, once people started to unite on that one, notice they kind of dropped those stories. But when it's a guy that people are like, wait a minute, this guy's a piece of shit. They're like, boom, make him a saint. Make him a saint and tell black people he's basically Martin Luther King Jr. And then when white people point out his rap sheet or the fact that his neck really wasn't being knelt on, or the autopsy didn't say that he died from strangulation or anything like that, then we'll just call them all racist and pit them against each other. And while they're doing that, foreign nationals will buy about $50 to $60 billion worth of our real estate and jack up working people's home prices while they argue about a black guy in Minneapolis. That's pretty much nailed it. It's exactly how it was. Honky says Castile was black. The cops didn't know any better. Shit happens. So the cops just needed better training on pulling over a black guy, I suppose. $90 even away from today's goal. Help us out. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, beg, shake. I think the Biscontis should be landing probably in the next 15 to 20 minutes, I would gather. God, it's always so weird going to the airport and not going inside and like doing the whole airport thing. It's always strange picking up other people from the airport. It's because I want to go in. I like being at the airport. I like being in the terminals and where the gates are and, going to the different shops and stuff. I like killing time at the airport. It's odd. I always feel like I'm missing out. And then you drop them off at the curb and you hug and you say goodbye. And it's like, well, then that's it. And they're gone. That sucks. It was a good time. It was nice to kind of put all that other stuff from before behind us too. That was nice. And like for people who came to the show and, the fans were forgiving and all that, that was nice. It was a nice weekend is what I say. 09 Canyon says, I agree about Philando Castile. He was a dummy who kept getting pulled over for stupid stuff like seatbelts and no proof of insurance, but he was doing the right things in that stop. I agree too. People I respect have a different opinion on Philando Castile, and that's okay. Fauci's Pangolin says, I don't think any white people commit crimes. It's just frame jobs to appease black masters. Jesus. MSO says, hopefully there'll be a mass shoot. Come on, MSO. Why would you say something like that? Approachable says, so you're saying our last hope is that the plane explodes on landing. All right, you know that thing I said about people having goodwill and all that? Apparently not. Shuli Madoff. I love this guy. $5 from Shuli Madoff. When did Justin Bieber's autistic brother get a podcast? Hey, man, I just appreciate the fives, man. I appreciate the fives. $85 away from today's goal. Guys, finish it off. I appreciate it. Keep knocking it down. You guys are fun to do a show for, you pieces of rat shit. Chevy fan says, good restaurants and bars at MSP. We do. We constantly get voted one of the best airports in the country. We're always like top 3. What was what's that restaurant in Terminal 1 where Delta and all that is? It's just before you take a right to go to another set of gates. It's right in the middle of like the walkway. There's this big bar restaurant that's just right there in the middle of the thing. And it's got its own little alcove cut out there. I forgot what it's called, but it's good, especially for an airport joint. 09 Canyon says, I like how easy the MSP airport was for dropping people off and getting in and out easily. It's been years, so I hope it's still that way. Oh, yeah, no, it's really, no, yeah. It's very good. I dropped them off, and we were there at like, oh, fuck. I pinched myself in the table. I got them there at like 4:40, 4:30, 4:40, somewhere around there. And so it's probably not that busy, but yeah, you just pull in, you stay in the right 2 lanes when you're dropping off, and you go up to their airline and you find the closest spot and you get right in there. We got their stuff out. We hugged. We said goodbye. And then I was out. The whole thing took 2 minutes, maybe a little longer. Keanu had to say goodbye to Gordy. She's going to really miss Gordy. Who wouldn't? But yeah, it's still very easy to drop people off, my man. Somebody says, stop curling your hair over with your hand. You look gay as fuck doing that. Oh, you mean like this? If you guys knock out the goal, I will stop doing this. And every time I do that after you knock out the goal, I will have to gift a membership. So yes, I will have to give my show money. Stone Arch, thank you. Yes, Stone Arch is the bar restaurant in MSP that I like. It's very good. Carlos Cameo says, you're starting to look like Temu brand Adolf Hitler with that hair. Thank you. Somebody says, well, yeah, the airport is great. People are leaving a hellhole of Murderapolis and St. Paul. Chevy Fan says, $19 Bloody Mary, though. Yeah, that's, buying shit at the airport ain't cheap. Eric Cartman says, did you cry, Aaron? No, I didn't cry. It's always sad, when we had 3 days of fucking fun, man. And different fun each day. Like it was anniversary show on Saturday, golf and Raleigh's, and then hanging out here on Sunday. And then yesterday, just, having a couple bloodies, having a few drinks. I used the smoker. We made some pizzas in the smoker with the neighbors and stuff on Monday. So it was 3 very different vibes each day. No, MSO, I didn't finger bang anyone in the lobby. Thank you. Jesus. Now they're having a discussion in our chat about proper fingering etiquette in public places. What a show. Is the tarantula is the second mic. Leave him alone. Phantom X says, is it true that the airport Chick-fil-A is not overpriced? I've never been to the airport Chick-fil-A. Dead Game says, smoked pizza. Sounds it is. It's good. Trust me. Approachable says, yeah, he didn't finger bang anybody in the lobby. He took all the guys in and out the back door. I didn't do that either. Bearded Trucker says, so when you going out to them? I don't know. I mean, I did a vacation already this year, going to Clearwater Beach. I would go back to Clearwater Beach every fucking time I have a vacation, too. I like that place. But the Hulkster's gone. It's not going to be the same. I don't know. Next year sometime would be probably the next vacation. We'll see. This year got expensive. This year got a little pricey for the kids. So we're gonna, as they say, we're gonna start keeping the powder dry here. Speaking of the powder, $80 away from today. Throw in a couple gifted memberships. Throw in a few dollars. We got 40 minutes for $85, and we've got 18 gifted memberships away from 300 on Rumble. A different Phillies fan got caught fingering his girlfriend in Yankee Stadium over the week. Yeah, we did that one. We did that one a little while ago. Chevy fan says, I wanted to attend the anniversary show, but I was at Rib Fest at Mystic all weekend. SP went to Rib Fest at Mystic over the weekend. So I know people who were there and they were very excited for it. Wasn't a Hanson playing? That was a Hanson concert too, right? By the way, I think your state is having, says Phantom X, one large any topping pizza for $9.99 at Domino's until the end of the month. Well, good thing I have a Domino's app. Honky says, who was the Hulk Hogan impersonator? Looked like Gino jizzed spaghetti on his face. Keanu and I were hammered putting together that Hulk Hogan costume. I loved it so much because it was so fucking bad. And it was so bad it was good, honestly. I was very proud of our work. And then I bought a couple feather boas to tie together the whole Hogan costume. Fucking stupid drunk ass. I forgot them in the storage room and I didn't wear the feather boas. Just another dipshit retard face. Damn. $85 away from today. Guys, help out. I'd appreciate it. Let's notch another win for the toe. There's a dentist in Colorado. It's just really nice that we don't have a story about a dentist who's like putting shit in people's mouths while they're under anesthesia or anything. This one, though, is a pretty sordid affair. The lover of a Colorado dentist who's on trial for allegedly murdering his wife methodically by poisoning her protein shakes took the stand Tuesday, sharing details of their emotional affair. So there was an orthodontist that was fucking this other doctor. And he decided that it would be a lot easier to poison and kill his wife to be with the dentist than it would be to just simply divorce her. So he started poisoning her protein shakes. There was a story where I think an Asian doctor was trying to poison her husband that similar way, and he discovered it. And it's on their home cam. And it got out during her whole ordeal. And oh my God. To find out someone's poisoning you and trying to kill you. It's a mixture of you're scared because you're like, holy shit, I almost died. But on the other hand, you're like, I'd really like to beat the living shit out of this person for trying to fucking poison me. So Dr. James Tolliver Craig is charged with first-degree murder in the March 2023 death of his wife, 43-year-old Angela Craig. Her cause of death was determined to be lethal doses of cyanide and tetrahydrozoline. Kane testified that she met Craig at a dental conference in Las Vegas in February 2023. That's all they are, just big fuck festivals. That's all those, workplace trade shows are, just everyone sucking and fucking. At the time, she had just finalized her divorce after 27 years of marriage and was adjusting to life as a single mother of 2 adult children. This was the first man I had a one-on-one convo with in 30 years, she said. They always say that about men. They say, if he'll kill a woman to be with you, he'll kill you to get rid of you. That's an old saying from way back in the day. Old Sparta, I believe. How bad luck for her, the one guy she finally meets in 30 years, and he's a guy willing to poison a bitch to get away from her. The two struck up a conversation while waiting for a shuttle to a conference dinner. Oh, she's cute. That's her. She's attractive. I don't know why that changes anything. It's still, oh man, if she was ugly, I'd be really mad at this guy for poisoning his wife. But I didn't realize how good looking she was. Yeah. I'd be a terrible juror for this case. He was honest and vulnerable, Kane recalled, describing how Craig shared information about his children and about his divorce. Craig, at the time of the meeting, was not divorced. Oh, this dirty rat fuck piece of shit. So he told this woman he was divorced. Oh, you dog. She said his sincerity made her relax, and the two shared dinner 2 times during the conference. Kane testified that their relationship turned physically intimate during the trip, though she insisted there was no sexual activity, saying, "We made out." So he couldn't make a move. Afterwards, she pulled back, feeling things were moving too fast. I told him that I wouldn't sleep with anyone unless he was my forever person, she told the jury. Wow, look at her. A little chastity in her 40s. Okay. Craig told her that her boundaries were reasonable. Ooh. You remember what she looked like? Look at Vincent D'Onofrio looking ass over here. Oh, my God. Despite the pause, Kane said they texted and called incessantly, and the pair exchanged more than 4,000 text messages over just 18 days. Wow. And then he wanted her so bad that he was going to poison his wife. And his wife's a cutie too. Take a look at her. Boy, this piece of shit just kept lucking out. Well, as they say, as Rick Grimes once said in The Walking Dead, luck runs out. Wild Card gifting a membership on YouTube. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Hey, you think we can get to, we're $80 away from today. You guys think you could jump in there and help us out in this next half hour? And we could knock out that last $80. I'll tell you this, PayPal, Venmo, and Streamlabs has been pretty quiet today. Rumble, thank you very much. YouTube's been getting after it as well. Why don't you throw us a couple of bucks? Steel Toe Media Inc. on Venmo. PayPal link is in the chat. Streamlabs.com/Steel Toe Morning Show/tip. Get in there, throw us a few bucks. We're heading into the last half hour of the show. $80 away from our first goal of the week. I would appreciate you guys helping out. Approachable says, do you just think every woman with a 5 head is cute? Go back and look at his wife. My God, you've got a type. What? Women are allowed to have different heads. Not every woman has to have a forehead that's shaped a certain way. What about, so there's his wife. There's nothing wrong with her. That's the judge. That's the dentist now. That's the other woman now. I mean, of course she's going to be pissed off. She's in court. And that's the woman he told that he was divorced and that he was cheating or trying to cheat with. But there's nothing wrong with that. I honestly, I don't know what you're on about. I really don't. That's an attractive woman. Some of you guys, man, just pick. On a Wall, gifting a membership. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, On a Wall. $75 away from today and a half hour. Let's go. Keep it up. If you got gifted a membership today, pass that along. We're only 17 gifted memberships away from 300 on Rumble. MSO says she has a great core, right, Aaron? I don't know. I haven't seen her core. One person says she looks like Ape. Well, I did marry her, so clearly at some point I was attracted to her. I mean, for the love of Christ. Such a picky audience. Again, nothing wrong with either of those women. Riding Dirty Llama says, just like men are allowed to have different arachnids. Right, exactly. You can have a spider on your head. Hey, wait a minute. To be fair, some of us are actually hot. Okay, gee whiz. Marble Arm says, looks like April. Just because she's blonde and thin does not mean she looks like April. Sam Show says, Aaron, you have to understand, the whole April thing made sense to nobody. Thanks. Fuck. You guys are tough today, man. I think I should hit that 75 just for how good of a sport I've been, and because it's the week after our big anniversary weekend, and I bounced back so well from a 3-day bender. In fact, I'll be honest with you guys, I've bounced back too well. I'm nervous that the other shoe's going to drop. Oh, by the way, we're learning more this morning about that New York City gunman. Documented mental health history before this. Also, they fear possible CTE from a lifetime of playing football. So apparently he played football in up through high school or college, I'm assuming. Oh, no. I mean, I've had friends who got a lot of concussions in high school and college playing football. You worry about that. Like, what is that? What kind of impact does that have down the road? Maybe it does make sense that there was an NFL office there. Maybe he wasn't going after Blackstone, but he shot a Blackstone executive. So that would kind of clash. All right, a couple of thank yous. Dub with $5 says, sell a scratch and sniff sticker of the finger from Kiki airport smell. Nobody was fingering Keanu at the airport. What the hell is wrong? There was no airport fingering. At least not when I was there. What those two crazy kids did was, up to them, their business. But when I was there was no fingering. We got a note from the shooter. Okay, so that's more breaking news. We'll take a look at that here in overtime as well. Hey, guys, $70 away from today's goal. $70 away from it. No Angelica's doll. There was no fingering. Well, I've heard a lot of shit. I've heard Gino was smooching on people. I was smooching on people. All of this. Guys, you think too highly of us. You really do. If you would have saw the shape Gino and I were in at that party, the fingering wall was years ago. It was a long time ago. Okay, it does look like the shooters. Okay, this did break during the show today. The shooter's note did refer to the NFL and brain disease, saying that he referred to his chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, which was caused by physical trauma, and asked that his brain be studied. So this might not have been a Blackstone thing. He might have wanted to do this in front of the NFL offices so that, you know, it would mean something to him because he wanted his brain studied. You know, that's the same reason that I think Junior Seau shot himself. Junior Seau shot himself in the chest because he wanted to keep his brain intact because he didn't understand why his brain was all fucky and he wanted the NFL to study it. He wanted science to study it. So that, I mean, there are people who have done things like that. And it's really too bad. It's really too bad. Well, okay, so we're getting the answers. So the whole Blackstone, somebody's met. Hey, just goes to show Americans do not give a fuck about their country being sold down the river to foreign nationals buying all their houses. Well, at least we learned that. Dead Game says he just wanted to be important. I don't know. I don't know about that. It's I think the brain studying thing. I'm sure if you got CTE and it's fucking with you, that's going to be an issue. It's going to be something that if it's driving you that nuts, you're going to want someone to take a look at it. Chevy Fan says, study my brain, then... Oh, did he shoot himself in the head? Yeah, that kind of defeats the purpose of the whole please take a look at my noggin thing. Maybe you're right then. Maybe he was just a fucking psycho. Phantom X says, did he say Junior Seau? No, when he shot himself, he wasn't speaking. He just did it. Fauci's Pangolin says, Seau shot himself because he had sex with Aaron Hernandez, allegedly. That's not, they don't even, there's no overlap there at all. Dead Game says, no, chest Aaron. Oh, he did shoot himself in the chest. All right. Well, $70 away from today's goal. So this guy did shoot himself in the chest. Okay, well then the CTE study my brain thing is back in play. You know, that's the worst thing of, you know, with these stories. Well, the worst thing is the people who are dead. But one of the worst things about getting information about these stories is that people just throw it out there right away. There's that fog of war, fog of information thing. Fuck, man. It's hard to know what's legit and what's not. You know? But it seems like we're leaning more towards the NFL part and less towards the Blackstone part. All right, we did the Colorado one with the crazy lovers. We did the Philadelphia fingering. Let me see if I can find you guys that T-shirt that I mean, might have to get one of these T-shirts. Philadelphia fingering, both spelt with a PH. It's gotta be out there somewhere. Here we go. Here's your new shirt. I got fingered at the Phillies game. Brilliant. You know that nobody in Philadelphia came up with that shirt. It's way too smart. And also, they might have just accidentally spelled finger that way, not realizing that they were being clever. $70 away from today, guys. Come on. Not just a win, please, in our first day back after the anniversary show. I'd appreciate it. It would be nice. I put together a pretty solid show today for you, too. I'm surprising myself because I didn't think that I would be up for having a good show today, but here I am. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted Rumble memberships. Get us close. We're 70 away. That's doable. A little bit at a time. Little help from our friends. Let's throw a couple dollars this way and keep this show rolling on. Federal Reserve likely to stand pat on interest rates this week. Oh, shit, yeah. Dude, the Federal Reserve is so not going to help Trump with anything. You talk about a toxic relationship. You talk about two groups that are just like straight up, they're just not going to cooperate with each other. You know, like Trump he's already threatened to fire the head of the Fed, Jerome Powell, numerous times. He's made it very clear he's not a fan of him. Doesn't think that he's lowering interest rates enough. And naturally, these fucking Fed guys, the Federal Reserve guys, they don't like being told what to do, especially by these people who they think they own, these presidents and shit. The Federal Reserve guys think they're in charge, which, Jerome Powell's not going to cooperate with Trump because he doesn't want to be talked to that way. And it's not like Donald Trump is going to back down. So call me crazy, but I'm thinking egos are being stroked here more than sound fiscal monetary policy is being pursued here. That we're watching a fucking dick measuring contest between Trump and Powell, and we're all caught in the middle. But he says that he's not going to do another rate cut, or not another rate cut. He hasn't done one yet for Trump, I don't think. I think it's probably about time. Inflation has gone down. You can risk a little bit. You can drop 1/4 of a point. People need help, getting homes. Like we keep saying, the average home buyer in America right now is 56 years old. People need help on that affordability scale. So if Trump could pull something off where they could ban foreign nationals who don't live here from buying up our residential homes, and then on the flip side, you could get the Fed to drop those rates a little bit, maybe home prices come down a little, and that American dream becomes a little more achievable. But I think when you've got a dickhead like Powell and a stubborn son of a bitch like Trump, they're kind of holding us all hostage while they do their dick swinging contest. Chevy fan with $1 says win by 2 needs that shirt to remind him of his uncle. That's fucking gross. Jesus. $70 away from today's goal. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, beg, shake, bing, 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 boom, boom, boom. Let's see if we can't make a move here, boys and girls. Fuck Powell. Geriatric chump change mofo. Did you see, you did see though, I think we played it on Friday's show, of Trump confronting Powell on the cost of those upgrades, those build outs that they're doing at the Federal Reserve. And he's like, it's cost you way more than 2.7, it's up to $3.1 billion. Shouldn't be spending that much. And Powell's just so, you can tell that Powell's used to being professional and he knows he's got to stay on an even keel. He can't let Trump rattle him. But you can tell he just fucking hates this guy's guts. It was so great. Trump's just and Trump hands him the thing. He's like, it's $3.1 billion. And the guy's like, no, it's not. He's like, I've got the receipt right here. And he pulls out a fucking invoice. Trump, Powell, I think it was $3.1 billion. Let's find, it's worth watching again if you haven't seen it. This is so fucking good. Hey guys, throw a few bucks at us. I'd appreciate it. We are 70 away from today. I'd like to notch a win for the toe on our first day back. So please and thank you.
And we're just taking a look at what's happening. And it's a tough construction job. They're building basements where they didn't exist or expanding them, and a lot of very expensive work. There's no question about it. And Tim has been with me for a long time, and you're in charge of the committee.
Indeed. One of the reasons why we wanted to see it was the overruns of the expenses. We wanted to figure out why.
Oh, so Powell's just staring at the ground. He's like a scolded child who's waiting to see what his parents say about him getting in trouble. He's just staring at the ground while this guy goes, yeah, we've had some overruns. It's cost a lot more than it was supposed to. And Powell's like, fuck, I'm not used to the president's actually checking up on how much money we're spending.
Yeah. So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about $3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot.
Look at him. He's so fucking annoyed. He's like, no. We pay for that. So the Federal Reserve, a private bank, spends a fuckload of money, and we pay for it. God, the Federal Reserve is such a hustle. Keanu turned on Titanic yesterday morning, and I think she then went up to take a shower, so I changed it to In Bruges. But as I was watching Titanic, I was reminded of that conspiracy theory. I don't know if you know about it, where like a bunch of the people who were on the Titanic, the wealthy people, were people who were against the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank. And shortly after the sinking of the Titanic, Woodrow Wilson approved the Federal Reserve and then regretted it almost immediately and said, I felt like I may have sold my country. Spoiler alert, you did. But I don't know if that conspiracy theory is true, that like a bunch of the people that were on the Titanic were anti-Federal Reserve millionaires. But it would make sense.
2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
Look at that. Powell thinks he's so much smarter than Trump. He thinks he's so much of a higher crust than Trump. So Trump goes, it's 3.1. He's like, no, I haven't heard of that, Mr. President. No. Trump's like, got it right here, bitch. It's just...
From anybody at the Fed.
It just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
Trump just hands the chairman of the Federal Reserve the paperwork and goes, here, stupid, read it.
3.1,
3.2. This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added
our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no, but it's a building that's being built.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, you added in a third building. Well, yeah, you guys are fucking building it. And like you're adding a third building. It went from 2.7 to 3.1. You're building a $400 million building. What are you going to do? Play basketball in it? Is it going to be an arena? What are we doing? We having the NCAA tournament in this fucking thing?
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
It's not new.
So we're going to take a look. We're going to see what's happening, and it's got a long way. Do you expect any more additional cost overruns?
Don't expect them. We're ready for them, but we have a little bit of a reserve that we may use. But no, we don't. Expect to be finished in 2027. We're well along, as you can see.
Nice to take these off every once in a while when we're not under too much danger. So, any questions?
Mr. President, does the issue give you any? As a real estate developer, what would you do with a project manager who would be over budget?
Oh, boy. The clip cuts off right there, but that's a great question. Like, she's antagonizing. She's like, what would you do if a project ran over budget in the private sector? And you know that Trump's going to take the bait and be like, I'd fucking fire the piece of shit. Coltrane with $1 says Trump should come out and do an address to the country and just trash talk the fucker. I mean, you're already tempting fate enough, right? Might as well keep going. Thank you very much for that $1. Hey, guys. We got 15 minutes left in today's show. I'd really like to knock out this last $70 and call the Hangover Comeback Show a win for the toe. So if you could throw in a few bucks, now would be the time. We got a couple of stories left to go today. Throw in a few. It'll make me feel pretty. And I think ultimately that's what we should do, is make me feel pretty. So $70 away. Won't take much. All of you start jumping in. Let's go. Phil Herslit says, I heard a rumor that Aaron has Crunchy locked in his basement. Is this true? No, I feel like Matt was going to lock her in his fucking garage or his basement at some point. Matt was fucking pissed about Crunchy. It was, oh my God, Doggo doesn't die with 5 Rumble gifted memberships. Thank you, buddy.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
I believe that puts Doggo at 30, which puts him in 3rd place. Doggo doesn't die for $30 for the day. Mudbutt Beardo now in 4th at $15, and Silverwolf in the cuck chair with $15. Thank you, guys. Let's get that all. Sorry, Helgi falling out of the cuck chair. Thank you, Doggo Doesn't Die. Very kind of you. And we're only $45 away. Come on, guys. Finish her off. We're getting close. $45 away from another win for the toe on our big comeback from the anniversary weekend after I dropped Gino and Keanu off at the airport. Coltrane with $5 says it's been a solid show today. Well done. I know, hungover, 3-day bender. I can still do it, huh? $40 away from today's goal. There we go, guys. That's 8 gifted memberships away from a win for the toe. Or throw in 5 or 10 at a time, however you'd like to do it. Either way, looking great. 10 minutes to go, and a $40 goal. No, Matt was furious at Crunchy's behavior. It was awesome. Like, Matt's like, can we ban her from anniversary shows and this? And here's my take on the whole thing. Like, we were all drinking, we were all having a good time. And to me, my opinion on the matter is that it's the anniversary show. We'll have another one in a year and give her another chance. You know, it's the way this shit works. It's one day a year. Everyone gets to party and do their thing. She made her presence felt. Put it that way. But yeah, Matt was, I would describe Matt's anger as righteous anger. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Matt was right to be upset, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to take anybody and ban them for just maybe getting a little too intoxicated. What is this Sydney, fuck. What is this Sydney Sweeney jeans ad controversy? Sydney Sweeney. It's an American Eagle ad. I got people are talking about this. I've seen so many headlines about it today. New American Eagle good jeans ad. What's the
I'm not here to tell you to buy.
What's the problem? We'll take a look here in just a second. But first, is there anyone who's banned? No, I don't believe so. I don't think we ban people. There's not like a list somewhere. We've never had one. All right, guys, $40 away. Cheeto says I had to separate her and Cheese after most left. Why? Fighting, or they were getting too close? What was it? Were they fighting, or were they doing the opposite of, or were they making up from a fight? I guess would be the question. Hey, guys, $40 away in 10 minutes. If you can help us do it, that would be so cool. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's take a look at this Sydney Sweeney thing. I don't understand what the news is behind these ads.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
It's a shitty jeans ad for dumb kids who buy whatever a celebrity tells you to buy. Is that? There's nothing wrong with, like, I don't understand what the controversy would be. It's a shitty, run-of-the-mill celebrity endorsement, tongue-in-cheek kind of a commercial. This is so inoffensive and so fine. I can't imagine what the controversy would be. Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
You see what I did there, right? Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
I mean, her tits are out in every commercial, but why else would you have Sydney Sweeney sell your clothes or tits?
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
I don't understand what the fucking issue is with this. I mean, that's fucking loud. That's really loud. Oh, hi, tits.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
So this whole thing is just the, I don't, that's, oh my God, accused of being Nazi propaganda because she's blonde and blue-eyed with giant cans and they're using that to sell jeans. Oh, fuck, get out of here. Accused of being Nazi propaganda because she has great genes. Get it? Like Hitler. Like eugenics. Oh, it's a Mengele commercial. Jesus. Get over it. I mean, it's a retarded ad. Like, it's dumb. She's cute. And she's attractive. And it'll sell jeans. I bet you American Eagle loves this controversy. Because, like, the word Nazi doesn't mean anything anymore the way we fucking use it constantly. So it's just getting you free ad play. I mean, we just played 6 of them in a row. That is so dumb. That is, I thought by the second one, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. I was like, are they going to try and say it's some kind of white supremacist bullshit? Now I was like, no, they're not going to do that. That's me thinking too hard. Nope, that's what they did. That's exactly what they did. On a Wall says, bet this is a work. A PR company was hired to fake the controversy. Yeah. I could see that. On a Wall says giant fake cans. No, Sydney Sweeney's got real tits. She's like really young. She's like in her 20s. When you're in your 20s, they're all just up there and tit-like. That's how it works. $40 away from today's goal. Hey, could you guys all start throwing in? We got 5 minutes left. And like I said, we've gotten so close. I'd really just like to notch an old win for the Toad today. Kind of an innocent win. Not like a, come on, guys, knock out the goal. But just kind of a, hey, I had a great weekend. Anniversary was great. Throw in a few bucks. I'd really like to take that 40 and put it down to 0. That would be awesome. And if there's anything you can do to help, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, etc. All the links are in the chat. Thank you very much. Throw a few in and see if we can't do it. 5 minutes to go. Somebody too says, didn't you see, Aaron? The smoke resembled the smoke from the ovens. Oh, yeah, that's definitely. Oh, now that you mention it, I am remarkably insensitive for not seeing that. Not seeing that. I did not see. See? Das Optic Nerve says, did that car have wooden doors? It's a girl with giant tits selling jeans. How is this not? Oh, you know what? I got to read into this fucking bimbo showing me her tits while wearing pants. There's got to be a double meaning to that. Oh, yeah. There's always a double meaning to a hot blonde chick with giant cans selling clothes. Definitely read too far into that. It will not be a waste of your time and mine at all. God. Approachable says, you know what kind of car it was? It was a Chevy SS. Oh, shit. That is Nazi propaganda. Oh, my goodness gracious, God almighty. She really was. Hey, Walter with 35 bucks. Oh, Walter, they're going to say you're fake. Walter with 35 bucks says, welcome back, boss. Thank you, bud.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
We're $5 away from today's goal. Thank you very much. And that puts Walter in second place at 35. So that means that Captain Joe is in third. Doggo Doesn't Die is in fourth. And Mudbutt Beardo is officially in the cuck chair. And that means that Silverwolf has finally fallen out of said cuck chair. Thank you, guys. Coltrane with $5 says origins of white supremacy. Oh, okay. You know what that $5 means? That $5 means another win for the toe. Thank you, guys. That was,
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
honestly, That was like the nicest begging day ever. I liked that beg level. It was always nice. It was always sweet. It was always, hey, guys, what do you say? And then it worked, which is fucking awesome. Thank you, guys. It's great to be back. And then we're starting tonight ahead, which is awesome. Thanks to Dong and Approachable. That's wonderful, guys. Thank you. If you want to gift a few memberships, go ahead. I think we're only like 17 or 18 away from 300 on Rumble. Those will go towards tonight. We appreciate you. Let's take a look at this link, and then we'll get out of here. Huh? Coltrane, what'd you send us? Origins of White Supremacy.
That's correct. From Africa, because we are just amazed by the things they've done. Well, we describe them always by inventions. That's all. They can command water from far away through tubes into their bedrooms. We can even fetch a bucket of water from the next lake.
Shit. Congolese man claims Africans invented white supremacy because they were thrilled by modern inventions.
You will be drowned. They can put electricity. We never had one in Africa. They have airplanes fly over us. It's amazing. Everything they've done is the reason my people say these people are superior. Not because of slavery. They came to colonize us and they brought things we have never seen before. They gave a king a mirror and he was dancing and sold his people away. They brought guns we have never seen. Boom, and killed somebody right away. You know what they used to do in the Congo?
Right.
They put dynamite in the rocks and then they hide the switch. And then when they point their finger, it go boom. And the Congolese till today, they call the white man kiboom, the sound of the dynamite. And then they go down and they go like this. If they're not superior, why do you see every picture when a white man arrives in Africa, we're bowing to them? We have never seen a gun kill a human being. We have never seen a mirror. We have never seen a radio tune in and somebody speaking from England, the Queen's voice. So for us, all these things, these people must be really superior and close to God. They used to have a joke in Ghana that when God said, let's pray, the white man opened his eyes. The black people were covering his eyes. So the white man saw how God created the world. That's why they are so good at what they do. And I'm telling
Jesus, this guy. Oh, what is this? A tourism ad for Ghana? Or the Congo? I'm sorry, Congolese man. Holy shit. Well, guys, thank you very much. What a day. I appreciate it. I have to pee again. I'm going to be draining all goddamn day. Thank you so much for being here. You're the best. Another win for the toe, and I will be back tonight. Take it easy, guys.